Plus who? Plus Hermit. Costco guys plus Hermit and Loxier. What are you excited to see in this first match? Or what are you looking forward to? What do you hope to see?
A subscription, obviously, and probably an offer for Hermit for letting them play with Costco guys. But okay, so Splatoon, honestly, I kinda always put my two my like how would I say my bingo on like obviously the free slot means the same old comp with a charger and 3 slayers, but I kind of want to spice it up, something I saw in a few tournaments, so I'm expecting obviously to see all cooler options on this tournament. And obviously because it's Costco, they sell by the bulk. I was actually expecting to see 2 cooler options in this case.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not too sure what either of these teams play. I know of Loxier. I feel like they've been around the mid-level scene for a while now, and they have been a force to be reckoned with around Div 3-ish. But the Costco guys, I don't know much about them. I know that the Rizzler is not on this team, unfortunately, but I feel like if he was, they would be Div X. But yeah, so our first match is going to be on Zones, Barnacle, and Dime. So I'll be expecting to see a bunch of painting weapons, a bunch of pressure weapons, and like you said, there's definitely going to be a cooler on both sides. And well, if there isn't, then we'll see how they deal with it, because I'm really open to unique and different playstyles and comps. Especially with open tournaments like this, I think it's a brilliant time for you to just show your stuff, show your skills, you know? So if there are any unique picks, I'll be really curious to see what'll come out.
You repeat it again, Barnacle and Dime, but what mode?
Splat zones.
Ah, okay, zones. Honestly, what do you think about that extra area they added a few patches ago?
I think it's fun. I don't use it though because I personally am a Splatling user. I don't really utilize it that much, but I think it's a really great place to just kind of drop like beacons there if you'd like, or a good place to retreat and jump out, but it's so easy to get collapsed on there if people see that you're there.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Most of the situations would be positioning themselves on the higher ground, just above the white block, on the closer to the basket, or going all the way towards the statues, right? And now here's the big question that I always underestimate the players. Like, how would you say the map, opening the map to try to read your opponent is? Because you will obviously, it's the only time you can actually tell where the the ink itself is being dropped, so it's quite a good thing to predict movement, right? Would you be able to tell the pattern from, like, because you're Splatling, so you're literally like waiting for people to flank you or like sneak up upon you, right?
Well, a lot of it is just kind of looking over your shoulder and stuff and making sure that you have these flanks covered. When I open up on this map, I like to pre-paint the right trench area, just because that's where the opponents really like to sneak up on you and get quick picks. And so I just want to prevent that.
Fair. When was the last time? Actually, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw Splatlings, mostly because like Wavebreaker and Kraken, like, do have some special niches, but like, overall, do you play all Splatlings or mostly those 2 that I mentioned, the heavies and the edits?
Oh, I mostly play heavy edit, but I actually love all of the Splatlings. They're my favorite weapon class, and I think that they're very underutilized. But I'm really happy that the heavy edit is getting a lot of kind of like attention, just because it leaves room for fast-paced comps. I feel like as opposed to Pencil, it kind of dictates the speed that which your players can go. By that I mean it, you know, commands the map in a way where you have to be safe to push up. But with heavy edit, it's very flexible. It offers a lot of different options for like dive comps, for example, with a lot of dualies, with a lot of carbons, with, you know, weapons that just kind of want to go in and die. You're there and painting as backup, and it's just like, it's so cool. I love it. But what weapons do you play, Fern, or what do you really enjoy seeing?
Probably something you're not gonna like to hear. But my most favorite weapons that I have like most time played is gonna be chargers because I kind of like the patience that comes with it, and it becomes more like how can I say it? I'm not gonna say that you are a spam weapon, but I have as an E-leader 5 shots and then a fire fin about 8 or 9. So like I obviously need to I cannot pre-fire that well as a splat because they can see my cursor. But the fact that I can at least have a safety and kind of quick, just like I like kind of the flicks movement, and playing backline is actually quite nice. I have played the heavy, not the heavy, the custom heavy. It's heavy. It's custom heavy or heavy deco. I'm confusing with
It's heavy
Splatoon 1.
deco, heavy deco.
Heavy deco. Because of the Kraken, because I kind of like the badge of the Kraken. I do enjoy playing Splatling as well, but I do suffer when the other team has an elite and I can't do anything. Or at least I struggle because I have to take their position into consideration. Oh, and of course, flexing the badges, always a good thing to see. I like the variety.
Yep, as we get right into it, the first match of the night, we are seeing Loxier versus Costco Guys plus Hermit on Zones Barnacle and Dime. We are seeing pretty not cookie cutter, pretty average comps on both teams, but we are seeing the Forge Pro on the red team, which is really admirable since the new buff. I'm really glad that it's getting used. I want to see that. I want to see how they're going to be playing it, if they're going to be play it more as like a booyah spam or kind of like what Jet Squilcher used to be. But as you can see, Costco Guys are taking no, they're just taking their plat already, so they are wasting no time have pressuring, but they don't have the zone.
Kind of a good jumpy situation here for the E-leader to take prevented, and here comes again. No, the moment that Blasted jumps, I was like, nah, the E-leader is gonna quick snipe you down. Taking positions on the right side, the leader is pushing a little bit, trying to dictate the movement of their teammate, getting a little bit more aggressive, trying to get a little bit more range. We're seeing tri-strikes being pushed on the left side. The Pencil trying to take the contested range of the E-leader, but still pushes it back, but didn't get the splat. We're seeing a lot of ping. This doesn't look that dominant on the side of Costco, but it feels that Loxier is trying to get a little bit using good specials, trying to get a good coordination right here.
Yeah, what I noticed is that Loxier is getting really good picks, but it feels like they aren't taking advantage of the pressure that they're creating. Like you can see here, they have zone right now. They are playing pretty patiently, let's put it that way. They are waiting for the good opportunity. They're waiting for Booyah to come out. They're waiting to just take their plat area. And as you can see, it looks like strikes are going to come out quite soon, probably to shut down that crab as soon as they come out. Or maybe they're holding it just to kind of use it with other specials. But as we see the lead switch to Loxier, it looks like they are not going to be going down without a fight. With 2 down on the side of Costco Guys, let's see if they're able to bring it back.
Ooh, I think the Loxier situation is looking very well nicely for them. Look at the situation right here. We see a 1v1 between the chargers, that's standard stuff. But like with the cooler, with the localization of the bubbler, I feel Loxier's patient is just paying off. We see like 3 people in front of the charger. This is a good situation. Oh, but just in time we see the E-leader get a snipe on the cooler. Thank goodness they already had the cooler effect, so they're gonna just jump back right in. We see one going down the duelist, but they managed to get the situation under control as zone flips back to Costco. Okay, so it seems to be more of a like we're reaching the regions of like just exchanging specials, or still like a big situation in favor of Loxier.
It's a little bit back and forth in my opinion. I feel like both of these teams are pretty evenly matched. Both teams are holding specials at the same time. It looks like Whale is popped a little bit early. I feel like they could have used it on the Booyah, if anything, and combined with the Crab. The Crab goes out, doesn't manage to find anything, but they're headed back to mid, trying to see if they can keep the zone for a little bit longer. I know that they really don't want a penalty here. They want to keep the zone as much as possible, but they're gonna have to grab a penalty. With 2 down on the side of Loxier, at the very least, they were able to put a penalty on the board for Costco Guys, because that's going to be, it's going to buy them time, basically, and that's exactly what Loxier needs right now, so that they can continue to play patiently and just continue with what works for them, which to me seems like a lot of coordination, a lot of just kind of patience, and letting the enemy team make mistakes.
Dooley's already making the best situation, using Crab on their own base of Loxier. Oh no, it's a Booyah Bomb Shred with the Gal and the Crab. Oh no, here comes another pick for the Gal. Blaster trying to 1v1. They pop the Bubbler. It doesn't manage to keep, but it's just enough to do enough damage so they can do the assist. And this seems to be the first game going for Costco.
That was pretty fast towards the end. I was totally under the assumption that Loxia would be able to flip the zone once more, but it just looks like they got locked out, especially with that blaster getting a few kills, just like maybe, I think they got a double, I'm not too sure. But yeah, they just took advantage of the, you know, people being down on the side of Loxia, and that's exactly what they needed. They needed it to just rush plat. That's the case with Barnacle a lot of the time. You just kind of, you know, hold space and then you have to push. You just have to, and there's nothing the other team can really do about it aside be stuck in their base. So yeah, that was a pretty strong matchup. Strong first match going to Costco, guys. But with Clam's Scorch as the next map, I'm curious to see if we're gonna see any changes, or if we're gonna see Loxier try their patient gameplay again, because it did work a few times. Like, it worked, and then I feel like Costco guys just kind of strong-armed their way through that barrier. I don't know, what do you think we're gonna see here?
I mean, you had a pretty good point when you were talking about the patience and speed of each team. Like, I saw the beginning of the match was more in favor of Hermit when they saw a little bit more of coordination with specials. We saw good placements for the bubbler from the blaster on the first push, where they put it on the by the statues and then in the zone. But then afterwards, what I think that happened was that the speed of the Dualies and the Gao was a little bit too much, and when the Dualies managed to get into literally their snipe and use Crab, you had a situation that you denied one of the Booyah Bomb from the Forge, right? So it's one less special that they managed to shred, and then just pincer the enemy on that specific moment that we saw on the replay, and that was actually a good pick. Honestly, I don't have itself like a countermeasure that Loxier could have done, but I can at least say that I would pin that moment when the Dualies was on the enemy base was kind of like we saw at the beginning of the end. And given that Clam Place is gonna be... Oh, we're already seeing a match start.
Okay, the match started already. That's awesome. Okay, well, there's points collapsing on the board from Loxier. They are already pushing. They're already down to 41. I didn't even realize that we were a minute into the match. Well, you can imagine what happened. It looks like Loxier just kind of took whatever we were saying about being patient out the window, and they just kind of were like, okay, we're fast now. We know what we're doing. And so they were able to get a really strong lead here, and it's gonna take a lot for Costco guys to get back, but it just, with one down and there's a special on the side of Loxier, it looks like they're swapping to being patient again. They're waiting for them to overextend because that's what they have to do.
I mean, but here's the thing, this is gonna be a different match from what you just saw. Like, we have literally a more patient map and larger map that a knee leader is definitely slower than a pencil. So on this situation, we see that Loxier might have the better advantage. If they don't manage to, if they rush in, they could actually get just enough picks for Loxier to push, and Costco will have to difficulty to push themselves, even though they're just scoring.
I mean, we can see the counter push begin right now. It looks like somebody's jumping back to go gather more clams, but everybody on Loxier is clumped up on the top left, which is not a good sign for this map because it limits your options, and with a Booyah Bomb that was kind of unfortunately placed at the basket, wasn't able to find any picks or paint any of the ground that they needed to in order to get back in there. It looks like the push is a little bit over, but they didn't overextend, which was a good thing. Normally, we may see a team try and overextend and hold a push for too long just so that they can get a few more clams in, but with the higher level you go, the more patiently you play, and you value your life a lot more, and so that's what I like to see. And with Strikes and Booyah coming out on the side of Loxier, let's see if they can get maybe a lead swap back, but they don't have any powers, so we'll see what happens.
Good amount of turf on the side of Loxier. We see that they're they're contesting a little bit there in range of the leader. I'm seeing that flash from the fully lit char happening everywhere. With the Neo Splash just painting as much as they possibly can. I'm kind of like in a situation that, oh my god, the two people already. They managed to get a pick on the one. They get a second one. Okay, that's good. They stopped the push from the from Costco guys. They have an advantage, but the cooler from Costco just respawns them right away. E-leader is on the high ground. You can see they're sharking a little bit so they don't get spotted right away from like a blaster or a sub. This situation is in a dire situation for the Pencil as they have to go back so they don't get shot by the E-leader, but they also need to be as in a good advantage. I don't understand yet exactly what's the situation happening on the right side, but it seems to have been an ink bath of green proportions. Oh, okay, that's gonna be... it's hard to say because like on a situation that we just saw two players on the side of Costco going down, it's a difficult situation. They're on a very intense situation of just throwing specials. Like I've seen at least two players getting splattered on the very key situation and just stalling the entire push.
It definitely seems like with the lead switch, Costco guys and Hermit are definitely dictating the pace of the match. They are kind of just exerting a lot of pressure over Loxier right now. They are taking their space. They are in about as close to their zone as they can be, but they were able to get sniped off of their own top mid here. And with a few specials on the board, let's see if they're able to get some turf back, but it's looking very green, let's put it this way. I feel like they may need just like their pencil or their splash to just kind of just paint up as much as possible and take the land back that they need in order to make a push, just like the beginning of the match. I feel like they may be, you know, not afraid of the other team, but they're honoring them a bit too much. We need to like just push as much as possible with only 10 seconds left.
10 seconds left. We see two specials and another one coming, the crab and the wave from the Gal. This is not looking good. Oh, but I think it's just overall not even giving a situation. It's just like everyone's just getting splattered. Like, do you know, like one of the best things I think Splatoon has ever done was creating that feature where you can see like every timestamp of getting splatted. I would honestly love to see that just last 1 minute was insane because like you would look up, someone was getting splatted somewhere, and I don't know exactly what happened on the side of like we mostly saw, I think, the perspective at Loxy when they were trying to push, but I feel that at one moment that I saw that not even the blaster was able to get underneath the range of the E leader to get them distracted, because there was the Gal underneath throwing walls, and then on the other side was the duelies bullying the Gal, trying to get it away of it. So like it was an entire mess of a situation that it was just in a difficult position to be. Like it's like a funnel. Like they were just redirecting you to get splatted.
Yeah, like I said before, it just feels like Costco guys plus Hermit were, you know, dictating the flow of the match. They were like, you're playing at our pace now. You played at your pace at the beginning. You know, caught us off guard at the beginning, but now we're fighting back because we really want to be here. And so now we're going to see Loxier in loser's bracket, but that may not be the end of them. So they do have a chance to get back if they get to loser's bracket finals. So it looks like Costco guys and Hermit is going to be moving on to the next round, and we're currently waiting to see who is going to be our next commentary victims.
If they come back from the losers bracket, I'm gonna say they are running a Christmas sale.
Wait, no, Costco guys, they're not in the losers bracket. They're not. They won.
Sorry.
But that was a good joke. I would like a Christmas sale at Costco. I would get like a really big bin of those cookies.
I would buy so much butter to make those cookies. Actually, I bought flour today. I actually feel proud. Like you mentioned a little bit of it was starting the stream, but yeah, let's do a little bit of a break right now, so everyone here can get a little bit of water from watching those two amazing teams play, and we'll see you for the next set soon.
Hello and welcome back to Squid Junction 82. My name is Nell and we are joined with Fern.
Okay, I was looking for very important videos on the internet about cats because obviously that is important, but we have to also do our duty for Splatoon, and we need to go back to Splatoon 1, but with an improved map, allegedly said. Rainmaker on Museum Delfonsino. Everyone says their own way. You have fun with that. So, already kind of different comps. We're seeing the vanilla roll, and we see no cooler on one of the side, or both on one side at least.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit of information. There's a little bit of a stopped stream tonight, so we're in winners round 2, Astral Aces versus Ultra Violence, and we missed 2 matches. But, however, we were able to catch the third one, and maybe it is a best of 5, I think. So hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more action. So as you can see, Astral Aces is currently tearing up mid right now. They're trying to get specials, trying to just keep pressure on the other team. It looks like one special is able to come out, much to no avail. So they will have to get another one, and they're just getting picked off and picked off and picked off. Nobody is in the lead yet. It's about a minute in, and it looks like the Rainmaker is finally grabbed by Ultra Violence, and they are about to do the push.
Ultra violence. Violence?
Yeah, violence.
Yeah. We choose violence today for
Absolutely.
this tournament. But we also choose a lot of... Okay, I remember a little bit. I think this team is trying a little bit to do a little bit of a defiance of the meta because, yeah, cooler is technically still in the meta. But, like, this type of weapon, like, this is considered technically 3.5 Slayer situation. But the point that I'm like, as this winner is on the opening, we're seeing it again, is it a situation that, like, the team Ultra Violence is trying to find a moment where they can push forward after mid and getting the picks. In the first moments, that paid off for Astro Aces, but right now, with the amazing, honestly, overall amazing performance we just saw with the Tetras right here, avoiding the... That was amazing. Showing the rain here from the Nautilus, trying to push in. Blaster on the useless on the left side. Roller going for the rescue. No, Roller goes down, unfortunately. It's a situation that the cooler comes in. Nautilus probably gonna try to either... Oh no, Nautilus is not picking up. It's the Pencil's picking up the cooler, trying to give it as much assistance as possible. First checkpoint, will be broken! No, will not. Why did it go back there?
It's kind of interesting. I think it's a lag situation, but even though the player was on the enemy's flat, the Rainmaker still registered that it was still a mid, unfortunately, for Astral Aces. I believe they were not able to break checkpoint, and since the Rainmaker kind of just spawned back in mid, this is giving Ultra Violence an opportunity to break check. So it's just server moment. But Ultra Violence is wasting no time just trying to get a lead, a huge lead, trying to get points on the board. They are not pleased with the 60 lead, and it is just being run to 25. That is a strong lead to contest, and I would not be excited if I was Astral Aces right now, but this is a good opportunity for them to retake. As you can see, somebody is just dropping it off the right side, trying to get it out of their flat area, trying to get some paint on the ground. It seems like everybody is just in a little scrappy scenario right now.
Okay, I actually want to point out something cool. Like, have you seen the Blaster just getting 2 players on our screens? Like, the idea that the Blaster is so dangerous below was what I was hoping to see on the last preview match. Oh my god, we're going to see more points coming in, but no, that's going to be Zeke stopping. Zeke from Astro Aces. I kind of left a little bit about their names because, like, both had an equal sign, so I think, like, both of them kind of played together in a way. But right here with the Gal trying to get a little bit more coverage, they saw that the damage one of the Blaster players was doing, using Color Whale to try to pinpoint. They see that someone is technically sharking on the right side. They jump out, so that's a good situation for them. Good use of the Tri-Strike. They managed to push the Rainmaker away a little bit. Enough time for the Tetris to come in and take control of their podium. Literally, this situation is a lot in favor of Ultra Violence as they have the Rainmaker once more. Neo Splash as their half Slayer, half support. We're seeing such a good coordination of specials, making it impossible to splat this Rainmaker.
With 2 down on the side of Astral Aces, this is Ultra Violence's opportunity in order to get maybe a lead swap if it is allowed. It's just like they're waiting for their team to come back, but also they're waiting for an opportunity for the other team to go down so that they can push in. And it's just kind of a waiting game right now. But as you can see, the Dread Ringer does have Reef Slider, and I do believe that they may pop it, but they just died. So it's just shutting down. It's just a bloodbath in their little area right now. It looks like Ultraviolence is really, really just trying to make a KO happen, and that's exactly what they're going to try to do. They are not stopping. They are just kind of not getting out of their hair. They are like, I want a KO, and it looks like they're just going to hold this and let Astral Aces come to them, and that is game. It looks like Ultraviolence is the winner of Winners Round 2. It was a pleasure being able to cast just one of their matches, but yeah, it was really cool.
I mean, honestly, a match is better than nothing. And to be honest, I kind of want to congratulate Ultraviolence for going the distance. Like, they didn't stop pushing just because they had a considerable lead. I wouldn't say this is spawn camping. This is more like they continuously to push while acknowledging objective, which is always nice to have for the viewer, which is watching us, so they can literally see a situation that either A, how do you actually make your opponents stay back at their base while you're trying to push on a similar situation of Rainmaker or TC or even Clan Blitz, or it is just like Astro comes up with a winning strategy that will literally be able to um, stop the counter push and still gonna be continued for us so for the viewers can learn as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't see much of that, but I do think that Astral Aces did have a few opportunities. If I do really want to see how that match would have gone if Lag didn't, respawn the Rainmaker in the middle. But it seems like that was what the cards dealt for them in letting Ultraviolence go with a 3-0. And so we are going to be seeing Ultraviolence in Winners Bracket Finals up soon. But we're gonna go on another tiny little break just so that we can, figure out who we're gonna stream next and all that stuff. So please stay tuned. We'll be back with more lovely matches soon.
Morning rays, years and cranes, turn to the west, the west, the west. Be honest, there wasn't a dream. Bell of society, the union, unity. Cornet and spinning it and sound flows, flow through home, dragged by the power of the dream. The power is yet unknown. Morning rays, years and cranes, turn to the west, the west, the west. Be honest, there wasn't a dream. Bell of society, the union, unity. Cornet and spinning it and sound flows, flow through home, dragged by the power of the dream. The power is yet unknown.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for waiting. My name is Nell, and I am joined by Fern. Thank you so much for the raids, by the way, Brian the drummer and Inkling on Fire. We really appreciate the support. Sorry about that wait. We are finally ready, and we're getting into winners finals here with FaZe Clan versus Ultra Violence. So Fern, how are you doing?
1 sec, I have to raise myself from the dead because I died during that wait, but it was a good rest. I am doing amazing. Honestly, zones, Mahi standard zones map for this map. We usually don't see the standard deviation. Most likely, if I remember, we do see maybe a tower, but then we go for Inkblot, TC, also standard. Rainmaker Scourge, spicy. Zones, on a nice fish market to have some good fun, but Shipshape Cargo TC, it does seem a little bit unorthodox on my list of picks. Not on my bingo card, sadly. So I'm not that shocked, but well, I can still enjoy this list itself. Just as a reminder for everyone that we were doing the last match against Ultraviolence, so this is winners finals, so this is technically going to be the best of the best from the winners that no team has yet to lose, and then after this, one of these teams is going to go for grand finals. Now, can you put a little bit of some of your skills and tell me which one of these maps and modes is your most favorite and least favorite?
So I don't think I have a least favorite. They all have their perks, but I think my favorite, just personal preference, is Zone's Mahi Mahi. I say this every single time. I know that it's controversial, but it's just my favorite. It's probably because I'm a backline support. I really like it. I like how short it is. I like how it really makes you think on retake, because if you just drop right, it's basically just the death pit. So you kind of just have to think a little bit about where you're going and what you need to do in order to get back out there safely. And so that's probably my pick, but I also genuinely really like tower ship shape. I'm not surprised by that pick whatsoever. It's a new and popular tower control map, and I think that it's like really fun actually. Not on the defending side. On the defending side, it's pretty rough just because once you get past first check, it's kind of like a steamroll type situation if you're not able to defend properly. So I'm just excited to see these top teams play these maps, not gonna lie, but yeah, so we are going to get right into it. Game 1 of Winners Bracket Finals. We're gonna see Ultraviolence versus FaZe Clan here. And so it looks like we're going to see a ZNF Charger and a Nautilus on the side. I believe that is Ultraviolence. And then on the side of FaZe Clan, we're gonna see Tetris, Blaster, and I think a Roller.
The comp that they were using on previous matches, already seeing 2 of the Slayers going out and the support. Ooh, the Roller has to swim away after 3 of their teammates basically got splattered right away. Oh, they were shocking. That's a little bit unsaid. Ooh, that's a nice position right here. What should be the best way to counter push?
The best way to counter on this map is, I believe, is going from the left side, but that's when the water is down. And so with the water still being up, as you can see, the water level is dropping right now. I would expect to try and retake from left islands. And so right now it just seems like both teams are trying to farm for special to get ready for the impending retake. And so, you know, we're just exchanging specials right now, trying to see if we can flip zone in the favor of Ultraviolence, but it seems like it's pretty much just a steamroll a little bit. It looks like the zone is not capped yet. Trying to make something happen. The Roller is going to go for a flank, and they're able to get 3 down, thankfully, on the side of Ultraviolence. This is putting them in a good position to get some points on the board and make it not a knockout.
Ooh, a little bit cautious, a little bit early. You almost got sniped by the Charger. Rain coming from the Nautilus, trying to get the big. Ooh, that's a nice flick. Coming in ZNF using their own try-strike, but the Roller is being announced right here. Ooh, it's a 1v1 against the NZAP, but unfortunately the NZAP is gonna use their range to their advantage. Ultraviolence seems to be doing quite nicely. On the beginning of the match, that seems to be a little bit rough, given them more range and not to mention a little, I would say, like, yeah, they had a little bit more range against the Blaster on a non-ink turf. Oh, nice pick on the, nice pick over there, like a trade situation between the Reef Slider and the Blaster. But the situation seems to be, the tide is forward now for Ultraviolence. They managed to find the correct position and are not giving it in.
Absolutely. One thing that I really enjoyed seeing on the side of Ultraviolence was one of the players using their strikes to strike out the enemies. I believe the enemy's pencil. It wasn't a pencil, their Charger. And then the other user was able to punish the Charger who was diving to escape the strike. So it's really good teamwork from both sides. And so we're just waiting here. It's the neutral game. There's 1-1. Strikes are coming out. It's really a nail biter. They're pretty even right now, just kind of painting the floor, trying to see who can go out on top. It's just Mocha Fan on the side of Ultraviolence, and yeah, it is not really looking good right now.
Ooh, strikes were cancelled by the Charger. Nice big. It's a wipeout in favor of FaZe Clan. Cooler a little bit earlier, I think, in my situation. How long does Cooler last? About 30 seconds or 20
Cooler
seconds?
lasts about 20 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, so like right now, the NZAP itself hasn't gotten enough time to literally getting to a point that they're going to be splatting. Ooh, that's a flexible. Nice avoiding by the Blaster using the mobility of Splatoon 3. Oh my goodness, this map is so yellow. This is a situation that they have to draw. Nice combo with the roller. They managed to get a pick. Will they be able to neutralize them? It's just a Zap trying to outpaint a Neo Splash. You see, this time the Neo Splash was the most favorable, but the Nautilus jumping right in. This is, okay, more Splatoon for us to have fun.
Absolutely, this is a great opportunity for the team to get some penalty points and to buy them some time to maybe see a lead switch, but it looks like, oh, with a beautiful double with Zipcaster, that sword user is just hungry for more kills, but they were able to get a very, very strong double there for the side of FaZe Clan, and so all they have to do is just play it patiently for about 30 ticks on the board, about 30 seconds, for them to just kind of hold the zone. But they still have to be wary because there are two specials coming out on the side of Ultraviolence. It looks like they're just throwing everything, but it's much to no avail because there's 2 down from Ultraviolence, 3 down, and unless the Mocha fan is able to do something, which I don't think they'll be able to, that is a knockout for FaZe Clan, making the score 1-0 currently.
Ooh, that was an intense situation. Kinda like, this is one of the, you said it earlier before, this is a map that you cannot rush, but given that the situation of the state at the very end, because I think that it was kind of interesting to see the teams trying to jump into the zone in different moments. Like in the beginning was Ultraviolence had a little bit of a difficulty, then we had FaZe Clan going for a more dominance, then we saw Ultraviolence losing that strength, but then again it's just like FaZe Clan dominating once more and finishing up again with a beautiful KO. Kind of hard overall. The cooler does give a little bit of like a boost speed effect. I think we saw Ultraviolence not push up at the FaZe Clan itself base when they had an opportunity at a specific point, but FaZe Clan, I think the cooler play was, yeah, just grab cooler and go to their base. And I will say the FaZe Clan, using the stamp, the beautiful double, did indeed destroy, or at least put the odds in favor of FaZe Clan just winning even faster the match.
Absolutely, but with Tower Inkblot coming up soon and such balanced teams fighting each other, I'd love to see if they do any comp changes. I wonder if we're probably going to still continue to see the sword, but I'm curious about the ZNF Charger over Pencil. I feel like it may be for the speed of the comp that they want to run, because like I said before, Pencil kind of dictates the speed of the match. I think that, you know, if you forfeit strikes, like on you just open up the ability to play much more, and we see the beautiful heavy edit coming out, and we see, I don't think any comp changes aside from the heavy edit being the cooler pick from FaZe Clan. So as you can see, people are just trying to rush into mid. They're trying to, you know, get their bearings, trying to paint up, trying to get cooler. And it looks like FaZe Clan is already going to be pushing the tower, but with 2 down, that is kind of like a scrappy opening, and with 3 down, it looks like they did not have the opening that they wanted, which gives Ultraviolence the ability to get to the first check.
Ooh, situation right here. They're trying to make first checkpoint. The sword trying to approach the amazing Neo Splash. They had their splash. I was considering if there was going to be a best option to just use it for the best, but here's the thing. They're just respawning. They don't have cooler. So the Neo Splash could use it just as much to stay alive and keep the man painted underneath their motion as fast as possible. We see a marvelous fight in between two duelists, but the Tetris manages to outpaint and get flanked by the buck. Wait, we didn't have a bucket in the last match, did we? Oh, nice pick on the bucket as well.
Yeah, we have a bucket now. That was, the bucket is now here because we took out the ZNF Charger in favor for the heavy edit.
Oh, the end zap.
So, yeah, it is important to note that Ultraviolence, at least from what we've seen, does not run cooler. They don't run tactic cooler, which is kind of interesting to me because they run weapons that like to kind of run in and die a little bit, which honestly, I really like whatever they're cooking up. It obviously is working for them. And as you can see, they're confident enough and they push up together to get the picks that are needed. And they're able to break past checkpoint 2 for a very, very strong position for Ultraviolence as they just kind of speed through the final points. And with strikes coming out, they're gonna try and, you know, force the blast checkpoint as best they can with a Reef Slider as just adding onto it, but with 2-on-2, let's see if they're able to get the knockout or if they'll have to back up.
I like the interaction we just saw. Two duelies, one's gonna be sharking up to the Reef Slider trying to get the pick, and then here comes the the other sharking one. No, I'm gonna be the one sharking, I'm gonna get getting the pick, but that's it. Neo Splash winning the 1v1 with the sword, giving the high ground and the predictability of their movement, while the Neo Splash itself not jumping off tower throws that out of the window of where they could actually be moving. Editing underneath the play. Honestly, that was interesting. Like, we saw, in a blink of an eye, we saw Ultra Violence on the brink of KOing and breaking Lex checkpoint. But then right now, it's FaZe Clan starting the push, finally. Will this be a situation that is gonna snowfall, or will Ultraviolence be able to survive? They already throw 3 specials, and one of them is being, you know, they already throw all specials. So this is a situation they might lose first checkpoint, but the other ones, Ultraviolence might be able to stop it.
Absolutely. We just kind of have to see how they play on defense, because we know that this team is very, very strong offensively. We have to see if they're going to be strong defensively as well. The strikes are going out to try and clear out the tower path as much as possible, and with a wipe out, this is Ultraviolence's opportunity to get back in mid and reclaim their lead. And I know if I were them against this team, I would not feel comfortable with that lead, so I would still try and maybe go for a KO at the very least to ensure that they aren't going to be getting the points, because I'm sure that they're going to fight for that KO on the side of FaZe Clan. They're not going to go down without a fight.
This situation is quite interesting. I was trying to pay as much attention as I could on the Slayers, the Blaster, and the Roller, and I like the synergy that they have with a beautiful interaction that 2 of them were by the tower, and 1 of them was striking by the flank block. Ooh, trying to get the pick on the sword is being a difficulty for both Blaster and the duelies, but now the Blaster itself cannot survive to that amazing sword play. We see a Crab on the left, on the left stack, trying to get a little bit of high ground. They might fight someone on the sharking on the right side. We see a Neo Splash trying as best as they can to just spam special with a Roller. Remember, the throwing curling bombs right there, we can predict their movements. They have special. Will they be able to break first checkpoint? One goes down from the side, one goes to the other. They're using both teams try to strike at the same time. Ooh, this is gonna be a dire situation. Roller's underneath, gets a pick, but it's a wipeout for FaZe Clan. They have a favorable second checkpoint for sure. What will happen?
This checkpoint is the only thing in the way from them getting lead, and now that that checkpoint is broken, Ultraviolence is going to have to really cook something up. With everybody, you know, clumping on the tower, this is the Blaster's opportunity to just kind of chew into them. That was kind of a misplay on FaZe Clan's part. They were all just kind of snuggling on the tower a little bit, trying to get it in the lead, and now they're being punished for that. All that Ultraviolence has to do is touch the tower, and that's game.
Touch. That's gonna be 1-1 on the score on winners finals. Honestly, you have a very good point. They were stagnating on towers, 3 players. If we get a replay, I managed to see, I wanted to try to remember, if my memory serves right, who was on the elbow at the time they were trying to push, but obviously it wasn't the edit. I doubt it was the wouldn't be the bucket. Like, would be the situation right there. You have 1 person underneath tower, 1 person right at the tower, and at least 2 on elbow, right? That would be the better situation.
I would imagine that people would probably be in bats as well, or just preventing them from getting into position. But I think that they were kind of caught off guard with Ultraviolence, you know, coming back so quickly. I don't think that Ultraviolence, I don't think that FaZe Clan was, you know, expecting Ultraviolence to come back so quickly and to punish that for them, that just 1 second of everybody being on the tower. And it was just the Blaster. I think it was just a really good weapon matchup for Ultraviolence, because that Blaster user was just able to 2 shots, everybody scatters, and that is exactly what they needed. And so now it's 1-1, and now with Rainmaker's Scorch Gorge, I'm curious to see if this will be a quick match or a long match, just because with Rainmaker, if you get a wipeout, you can run that thing for a very, very long time if you know how to use it.
So since we saw Ultraviolence play, let's try predicting, and chat can help us with their own prediction as well. We saw Rainmaker on Museum, and we saw Ultraviolence was willing to shark and to push as much as they possibly could, even with a safe lead. And I would say safe because they were crossing 14 points on Museum, which is quite remarkable. So
Absolutely.
either they're gonna push in very fast. No, actually, no. They took their time when trying to get picks because of the wideness of that map. So we're probably gonna see Pop going for face clam. They're gonna paint as much as they possibly can, and then trying to go their own ways, trying to get a pick and pincer the enemy underneath. I think we might see the either a charger or the ends up come back, like at least that variation for FaZe Clan. And if FaZe Clan wins, it's gonna be quick on their side, but if Ultraviolence wins, I think they're gonna be able to break for checkpoint just as much, but they're gonna have difficulty on pushing in unless they literally make the best play possible and conquer their drop instantly, like they are in between first checkpoint and last checkpoint.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see either the ZNF or a pencil coming back out, just because this is not a favorable map for the heavy edit. Just because it needs a little bit more range in order to effectively kill people from top mid. And as you can see, we did predict correctly, but
Close
instead it's
enough.
V Charger with the vacuum, and they're opting for a zap. We're seeing a lot of zap this tournament, and we're not seeing a lot of pencil. So I'm really curious to see if this is just kind of a vision into the future of how the meta is slowly changing to kind of adapt to these like tanky specials like Crab and Bubble and stuff like that. But we'll just see. We already see strikes coming out on the side of Ultraviolence. They're just trying to retake some space in mid. They're trying to get some picks, and that poor soul is killed in the air mid super jump, and with people just staggering on FaZe Clan's side, they're able to rush the Rainmaker through checkpoint in only 30 seconds.
Ooh, amazing play from the Dapples right here, trying their best to get, but given the situation, oh my god, Mars, good jump right here. We're seeing the vacuum sucking as best as possible. Here's what I was talking about in general, is the situation that it needed a little bit of control, but the vacuum wasn't my equation. Although you could argue that the Tri-Strike would be the equivalent situation. The Blaster is showing the dominance of off that location, pushing away as much as possible. You're coming the reslider, getting the pop, not enough, but close enough. Dooley's going for the ramp. This is a match that is harder to KO, but they managed to get it. It's so close to the ramp, and it's just a roller. Sharky in between a sword, so it's a horizontal versus a vertical sword. With a jump in, that unfortunately is gonna go down to the sword.
Yep, and that was a delayed wipe for Ultraviolence. This gives FaZe Clan the opportunity to get back in mid, get their bearings, maybe put some points on the board. There are 3 specials for FaZe Clan right now. They are not messing around. And I know that since they're coolered up, they are safe to do a push, but with people dropping on the left, trying to distract them, let's see how that goes. I know that the Tetris is down there still just sharking around, and they're kind of wary about that. So let's see how this goes.
Ooh, not enough thing for our Blaster friend to survive. Phoenix, the roller and the, sorry, not the roller, the Nautilus and the Charger were waiting for the pick, and no wink for them to survive. It was an easy point to predict their movement and getting the pre-fire on the picks. We're seeing jump-ins happen on the left side. Only the Slayers are alive on the side of Ultraviolence. They are playing patiently. We see the Doolies on the side of Mars has the Reef Slider. We see him pop off on the side of the roller. That is actually quite an interesting play. We see the positioning that on the side of the roller is in favor. They're managing to delay a little bit of a push while making FaZe Clan push a little bit forward, waiting for a bait. We see Sharky over there. Nice jump out of the roller, surviving a little bit longer as the Tri-Strikes are pushing in, trying to get a pick on the Rainmaker.
Looks like the Rainmaker is a little bit stuck right now. They're gonna try and go Greats, which you don't really see that frequently. It's only in very specific situations that you'll see a Rainmaker try and take the Greats route, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. However, it just seems like they don't really know what to do right now. Like, yes, they have the paint, but they just keep getting picked off by people dropping on them. And I know that they counterpicked a Nautilus probably, I'm guessing, so that they can deal with the roller and the tetras, which is probably working. And with 3 down on the side of Ultraviolence, they are going to break check, but not if strikes have anything to do with it. That'll only stall them for a few seconds, though. And now they have to farm strikes all over again in order to prevent the inevitable wipeout if they're not able to get something happening.
Oh, we see Vac combo with sword, Rainmaker shield as best as they possibly can. Can it get closer to 24? It's just a blaster. It is gonna be enough to even, nope, not
Beautiful
close to kill,
direct.
but an amazing lead. Amazing lead on the side of FaZe Clan, work play. Oh my gosh, there is so much splash damage. The roller is just like, no, please no, please no. And then, not gonna be enough.
You have to commend the blaster for getting that beautiful direct on the Rainmaker, though, like kind of stopping it at 1. I do think that the Nautilus was probably the play against this team, though, simply because of point sensors. As we see the rise of more sharking weapons like Tetras, like rollers, you're gonna need an option like a Nautilus in order to punish that, and I think that kind of threw Ultraviolence off of their game. Just because I could tell by the way they were playing that they weren't able to get away with a lot of the same stuff just because they were tracked.
I honestly am gonna press F in the chat for the zap, because here's the thing. If I were the zap and I was trying to pop the Rainmaker shield, I would have taken the same position, assuming that I wasn't gonna get splatted by the explosion in case my team failed to break the checkpoint. Because you can see that they were moving, but they were like diagonally moving sideways as well. So that was a little bit unfortunate on the calculations of distance over there. Now, this is a situation that Ultraviolence has to be very wary, since it is another zones match on a very slim map similar to Mahi Mahi. I'm kind of seeing that if they go a similar comp, maybe not the edits, but I don't know how to explain, like, why did the end zap plus the charger worked on zones Mahi Mahi, but the edits with more speed and mobility didn't do well with tower. Is it maybe because the tower on itself is slow?
So, are you asking the reason why one would
Do you?
pick? Yeah, I'm just trying to answer your question properly. You're asking why, like, for example, I wouldn't play heavy edit on tower, right?
Because here's the thing, they almost managed to win TC if there weren't, like, I would say that what caused the last match for FaZe Clan, like, Ultraviolence played beautifully, but on the defense, FaZe Clan could have gotten more points if they were a little bit better on the position, because they stagnated 3 people on the tower. But would playing not heavy edit made a difference, because like right now this is a situation that they might stay with the ZF or they might go back to the edit.
Ooh.
Oh no.
We see red pencil. I love this so much. I am incredibly excited. You heard it in my voice here. They are opting to just not go with blue pencil at all, and instead are going with a zap and a red pencil for the paint, I'm guessing. And I'm excited to see it because the pencil is it's a very high pressure weapon on this map in particular, since this map is so linear. And so having this team basically just be painting their souls out, it's definitely their plan. I think their plan is just to outpaint them as best as possible while also using the knot. And so they're using double rain. Did you notice that?
I did. Why would you go for the situation that you want to at least have a more aggressive special, in that case the splashdown and off, and opt for the point sensor rain when you already have a rain special? That was confusing a little bit for me, because like, we do have a buff on the rain healing your teammates, right?
Yes, I think that the answer for this is that they're trying to, I believe, punish their weapon picks, because the only weapon that really hates on that team is the end splash. And so if you take out the end splash, then you can just outpaint them, which is not really ideal for that team, unfortunately. And since they're not running cooler, you can really punish that end splash if you're able to get a pick on them. And I think that was what FaZe Clan's thought process was, but as we get into it, it's kind of just back and forth right now. There's no clear winner. FaZe Clan is currently in control of the zone, but it looks like Mars is trying to get picks. They've popped their special 2 down on both sides. It's just the Pencil and the Nautilus now. They can both easily get rushed, but they are a good source of jumps for the team. So if I were Ultraviolence, I would be like rushing to kind of take advantage of that. And now it's just 1-1 now. It's just very scrappy on both sides.
Ooh, but the situation might be changing, and they managed to get a very nice tide, but unfortunately that's gonna delay a little bit of the plans, as the Neo Splash is on a situation that they are literally the front liner. Okay, all their teammates coming back, we see a point sensor, strategy position themselves on the right side. They still have the special that didn't get picked by the Pencil, which is huge on this situation. They're using their special right now. We have a Tetris having their reslider ready to go. This might be a situation we get a lead. There's a lot of damage happening. They managed to get a pick and no lead in sight. Blaster, also a realize for viewers, this is not the Splashdown Blaster anymore. This is the Kraken Blaster with Splat Bomb instead, which kind of like puts in a situation that you have even less paint to work with on the side of Ultraviolence. So you have a very good point. If the Neo Splash goes down, they are screwed.
Absolutely. I think that the plan for Ultraviolence is to just get picks and get picks, which I do believe they have been doing. They've been doing really well at getting picks, like I said, getting the directs that they need to be doing. But I think that FaZe Clan acknowledges that, and they're like, okay, we'll just outpaint you. And if you notice, it looks like they are staggering their reigns. So somebody is reigning the zone, and then somebody is reigning right afterwards, but they're not putting them on top of each other, which I think is very troublesome for Ultraviolence. And as you can see, the zone is able to flip, but they do have to hold it for about 25 ticks, and with like 3 down on the side of FaZe Clan, this is their opportunity in order to get more points on the board. And if they're able to hold it, if they're able to hold specials, farm as much as they can, as you can see, like I said before, the End Splash is painting their little heart out, trying to make sure that they don't get outpainted by the other team. And so the zone may flip if they don't do anything.
And flip it shall, but sadly Neo Splash, I don't think I saw the... correct me if I'm wrong, did we see the tri-strikes from the Neo Splash? This zone is gonna go back easily to FaZe Clan since Neo Splash was just respawning. We see the Neo... Oh, actually no, Neo Splash just back in, trying to get as much as possible for the turf. Pencil aggressively contesting the zone. Another ink strikes coming from Neo Splash. Honestly, I'm gonna say, yes, it is their painting weapon, but given that their weapons don't paint at all, I think we're seeing at least one tri-strike every 20 seconds on the side of Neo Splash, which is technically amazing. Here it goes again. Honestly, I think we just saw another strike from Neo Splash and it's just going back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like the fighting of flipping back and forth with the strikes, and FaZe Clan is not running any strikes. They're opting to do double rain, which is really curious to me because we don't really see rain much in the current meta. Oh, and with a beautiful triple on the side of FaZe Clan, this is going to be incredibly unfortunate, and overtime is going to start. But they don't have a huge penalty, so they're going to have to make something happen really quickly if they want to keep at it. And with 3 down for Ultraviolence, it's not looking like it's going to happen, with FaZe Clan going 3-1 in, I believe this is winners finals. This will send Ultraviolence to, I believe, losers bracket, and we may see them again.
The moment that I saw Anenzap getting a triple and one of the players was the Neo Splash, I already knew that's GG's. That's GG's. It was like, even a little bit earlier, it was just not F's in the chat, everyone. Okay.
And with that, we see 3-1 FaZe Clan to Ultraviolence, and then we're going to do a little bit of a switcheroo. I think that we're probably going to continue, and we're going to commentate losers semifinals, just because they have been waiting for a little bit. Let me see if we can get in their room.
Yeah, okay. Yes, we are gonna not be taking a break for sure. We're just gonna continue be playing and show you amazing teamwork of Splatoon.
Yeah, so loser semis, we're going to see 2 teams that we commentated earlier in the in the evening, we are going to be commentating Loxier and Costogo guys plus Hermit. And so correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that previously Costco guys plus Hermit fought Loxier and they went 2-0. So let's see if they learned anything from that 2-0 match. I do believe that Loxier is able to take that opponent, but we'll have to see how that goes. It looks like the first match is going to be on Zones Umami. The second match is going to be on Rain Museum. Third is going to be Tower something. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm excited to see how that's going to go. And as FaZe Clan is going to be waiting patiently for the results of Losers Bracket semis and Losers Bracket finals, that is the current trajectory that we're going.
Absolutely. Okay, Umami Zones. On my eye, still the same. It looks the same as Mahi Zones, except a flip in the middle. Instead of two pillars and nothing in the middle, we see a little bit extended with a giant pillar in the middle to separate the zones. It's just the shape is the same, but the play style, I feel it's the same, except that you alternate a little bit in the middle, and it's easier to go into the enemy base compared to Mahi zones. The lockout is much easier on Umami, right?
So with Umami, it's kind of difficult because there are two zones. You really have to delegate your manpower to try kind of focus on one of the zones or the other when retaking. So it's like you can't send one person on left and send two people on right when retaking. You know what I mean? We really need to just you kind of in your head, you got to visualize the map as like little zones where it's like, you know, your base is a zone, your snipe is a zone. You have to clear those out before you're able to get to mid. And that could be, you know, seen as, oh, that's just like basic Splatoon. But trust me, people try and just throw themselves into mid and hope it works, and it never really does. You know what I mean? So you kind of just got to clear out everything before you're able to get to mid. And so that's kind of a difficulty here. It's not my favorite map mode, but just because it's so easy to get steamrolled.
I mean, the way that you describe yourself, you sounded like a healer in RPG with, please teammate, stop feeding. I'm watching from first class, because this is my positioning. Please don't rush in like that. And is that why you don't like this map?
Well, it's mostly just like in solo queue that happens, but you know, it's just difficult for me to delegate two zones. But I come from the days when I believe it was Port Mackerel was a thing back in Splatoon 2 where the zones were like 10 miles away from each other. Oh, I miss those days so badly. I think that map mode was banned in multiple tournaments. But yeah, so as you can see, it's called Port Mackerel.
Oh, no, I don't even talk about it. Splatoon 1 was... Ugh.
Rest in peace, Port Mackerel. So it looks like for Costco guys and Hermit, plus Hermit and Loxier, this is going to be like a rematch of sorts to see who's able to get into Grands. And so let's see, we have Zones Umami and then Tower Makomart, and I think Tower Makomart is just like the bread and butter of the community, as in like Makomart is a map that everybody kind of needs to know how to play. It's very like important.
Sorry, I was staring at the udon bowl and I kind of wanted to eat a little bit. Which map did you say was important to play? Mako or?
Makomart.
Oh, Mako. Fair enough, honestly. Yeah, we do need to know. It is a very important map, and we see now. Trying to remember the comps that we saw on both of these teams. First things first, two chargers being... Wait, what?
It looks like there is an issue where we'll have to reset, unfortunately.
Oh.
They made our spectator a player, unfortunately. I don't think that is what we intended on doing.
They made a replay. I want to see. Literally, it was on my bingo card. No,
yeah.
we saw Bamboo. There was a Bamboo on screen. Let me see Bamboo play.
They probably just did... I would love to see Bamboo play, but they probably just did like silly-ish weapons. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
One time we will give the entire Bamboo server Because technically speaking, yes, there is weapon servers all around in the internet for sure, and I'm pretty sure Bamboo server would be like, um, let's see, what meme can I actually think about it that is actually fun? Like the players on the couch that are like cheering like Bamboo, Bamboo.
Okay, well, it looks like we're back, hopefully. Splat Zone's Umami, Luxier versus the Costco guys and Hermit. We see an E leader and we see a pencil. Not really surprising. I'm kind of disappointed that we see no bamboo.
Although jokes aside now, I think this is the first time we're seeing a shot because I don't remember seeing Azuka the entire tournament. At least the one that we streamed.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen many pencils either. Like, I feel like the meta from 2 months ago is completely gone now, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, so
being an aggressive duelist, as we see, already going in for the splats, but unfortunately, that is the beginning of the game in general. Swapping in between, trying to get the first blood or first assist or first kill that we see on the steps of the front. We see so much activity. First bubble happening on the great positioning. We see like already people jumping the rope, trying to avoid almost every special. Oh no, they got attacked because of that. And a duel is on the side of Costco with the crab. This is an interesting situation so far because the paint shifted from being halfway blue to mostly orange, just from one special. Or no, but it's 3.
excuse me, I was taking a drink of water really quickly. So you can see the lead is about to flip to Costco guys and Hermit, and beautiful direct. They're about to get another direct, but not for the dualies. And with 2 down on the side of Costco guys, 3 down, this is the Luxier's opportunity to take space and just kind of push in and do another lockout. If they're able to take this scrappy fight. It's 3-3 currently. Let's see how this plays out. I believe that specials are going to be being popped soon because the whale is just charged and we got cooler out, and I fully expect to see a retake.
Indeed, we're seeing Blaster trying to recap the zone that was just uncapped. Dooley's on the right, shooter underneath the zone. Then Zap trying to get his picks as much as we saw on the previous match with a triple and even 2 more to finish it off. The Zap is being aggressive, playing with the Gao on the Gao and Zap on the left side of the zone, depending on the perspective that you see. Picking up one of the zones, will they be able to apply the penalty and pick the left zone? It seems so. Zap gets the zone, has cooler, will throw on the jump. That's a good team coordination happening right here as we see. Once again, going back to paint the left zone once more, getting a little bit on the situation that they don't get any points specifically because both teammates. Oh no, the Blaster picks on the zone and it flips instantaneously to the other team. Damn, that was quite interesting to see like a zone being alive just because of one player.
Absolutely. I mean, I love Zap. I used to play Zap. I liked that it just paints. Like, you can just hold a zone if it's small enough, and that is just all they needed right there. And so they were able to find a pick with Zuka. Beautiful shot, a beautiful arc shot, and we are going to punish this crab, but ooh, with a 3-player collapse onto Zuzu Fan, and they are jumping out safely. I do not know how they did that, but I want to know how much quick super jump they have on their build so that I can copy it, because oh my gosh, that was stressing me out.
A little bit of an anxiety situation. We see the crab right here. It is a difficult situation. Crab can be one-shotted by the E-Leader if they start pointing in. We can see that the E-Leader wants to get that pick. Unfortunately, I don't know, given the sounds, if the E-Leader managed to get a pick on the shield itself, but I could sense their blood on their ink in their eyes when they were trying to get the head of the enemy team, Loxay. 46 points. They have a very good situation. 2 specials coming in. I'm sensing that the Zuka is gonna pop out and trying to get at least one shot on the E-Leader. As we see the Blaster, unfortunately not living to tell the tale after popping that bubble. That is gonna be shredded in a few seconds. But they, oh, okay, actually, distracting by the Blaster was just enough for Loxay to get the zone with 3 points to spare.
That's the commentator's curse for you. You're saying one thing, and then boom, people are doing like 12 billion things in the background, and now they're back in the lead, holding zone, with a beautiful snipe on the side of Costco guys. We have a Zuka on the other side. They believe they have like one more shot left, and with the whale coming out, 2 down. They're just keep trading and trading 2. They trade 2, flip zone, trade 2, flip zone. It's just like such a almost perilous matchup a little bit. I can tell that these teams are very even and balanced just because of how scrappy everything is.
Scrappy. Honestly, that would be a good actually name for a weapon. The Scrap-O-Matic or the Scrap, the Dual Scrapper, or even the Charger Scrapper. I am great. Hire me, Nintendo. I can make great things for Splatoon. Like for example, nerf the cooler.
Okay, with Loxier still being in control of zones, 3 seconds left. They really need to flip zone now if they're able to get in control, but nope, that is the first game of the set going to Loxier, and I believe, considering that these two teams did fight each other before, this is the first round that Loxier did take off of the Costco guys, and so I think they just needed to warm up.
The entire tournament was the warm up, and as long as you get to the grand finals, that's all that matters. If you went from the bottom or went from the top, if you go to grand finals, you're technically second place, no matter where you came from. So it's strategically.
Yeah, and so for Mako Tower, I don't really expect to see any comp changes. I'm so used to the pencil shot comp that I'm like, ah yes, that is what everybody runs. But like most of this tournament, we've like seen barely any of that.
You mean comps changes in general?
Yeah,
comps changes in general?
Like I don't know, you just don't see as many as you used to.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, okay, so you technically have more experience in both playing in playing low ink tournaments, right? I feel that like when you get higher and higher into the top, a player marries a weapon, or at least a weapon class, and that player is not gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be our cooler support. I'm gonna use cooler because it's an easier example. You have cooler, but you're cooler on the pencil. Being cooler on the zap is a different play style that you'll be playing differently the entire match. So unless the comp itself has a workaround to put every role in a way that is still like, because we saw with H on the last match, they went from ZF, vanilla pencil, and then rainy pencil. So we didn't have to, the team didn't put them on the zap cooler. They were still playing charger and backlining. So that goes, but like when you go for like a short rangers, we have bucket and dreadringer are closer together. So you have to find a comp that works together with those specials. You think specials and then weapons later, basically.
Yeah, I completely understand. Looks like we're gonna see an E-leader and a pencil, so we are getting the best of both worlds of these long-range chargers. And so it's just kind of a race for mid right now, trying to get some paint on the board, trying to figure out what they can do. It looks like there's already a fight going on right stack right now, and it just seems like the purple team, Loxy, is a little bit scrambled, but they're able to get a pick and tap tower just to 1 point. It's just scrappy fights all around. Neither team is really in charge right now.
Ooh, but the situation with the Gao underneath the bubble of the shield managed to get a pick on the blaster, although that bubble is still in a situation that, ooh, I actually don't see much of the situation with the blaster, not the blaster, the Zuka being used to counter the crab, but it was interesting to see. Oh no, that was almost in a close situation for the duelist. Managed to avoid getting splattered by the blaster with the second indirect shot. We see that map turf is in favor of Loxier. E-leader on the right side with a duelist throwing suction bombs. We see 3 people stagnated on the left side. That wall did not stagnate. It went a little bit to the right, avoiding the wall in general, and that's why the Zuka, the shot player, managed to survive. I think it's gonna be sort of a delay wipe since one of the players did jump out and one is just respawning. This will give an opportunity to push in for loads of points, but Loxay seems to be playing much different from they were playing in the beginning of the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. They are playing with much more, haste, I think. They know what they're doing, they're confident in their actions, and I think that it's kind of throwing the Costco guys off a little bit. And it's really nice to see because I know that these players are very powerful. Like we see, you know, they're kind of monsters on the weapons that they yield. For example, I'm using the shot player because it just feels like their aim is just always spot on, you know what I'm saying? And so they're able to just continue pushing the tower. It looks like Costco guys is just not able to get whoever's on the tower off, and they're able to break through most of the checks, only the last check left. With only 15 seconds remaining, this may be clear cut.
Damn.
And there it is.
That's it for losers semis or losers finals?
That's it for losers semis, and now it looks like Loxier is going to be going to losers finals, and then whoever wins losers finals will be fighting FaZe Clan. Oh, Ultraviolence and Loxier is going to be the next set that you guys will see. But yeah, it was really crazy just to see the difference from Loxier in the beginning of the tournament versus now. I just feel like they have way more confidence now, and I think that really paid off for them. They just had the confidence to go in, do what they need to do, and win.
Absolutely. We are not gonna be seeing, unfortunately, the udon ramen, and I kinda am getting a little bit hungry. But this is gonna be a good time to go on a
Best
quick
of 3.
break.
They're done.
Yeah, they're done. It's best of 3, so we're gonna go on a quick break, and we'll see all of you marvelous people, Inklings and Octolings, for the losers finals.
Oh, wait. Don't you want to sign off? This is going to be the last of us, but you're going to get
This...
wonderful new casters after this. So where can we find you, Fern?
I'm still stuck in Twitter jail, so at superfern013. A little bit on a difficult spot where I'm doing mostly blended, but I'm not feeling comfortable enough to post my own stuff. Where they can find you instead of Twitter, Neil? I think you're probably gonna say Blue Sky, right?
Yes, I'm on both Twitter and Blue Sky at Nelfire, with a 1, as you can see on the screen. But yeah, so thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight for Squid Junction 82. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Squid Junction 82. I'm Sigdokari. Joining me is the fantastic Lila, and we are going to be bringing y'all the lower bracket finals of Ultraviolence versus Loxier. Lila, what are your thoughts on these two teams going into this set?
So we did just watch Loxier 3-0 the last team, so I personally think that they're going to be a threat, especially since I saw a Blaster on their team. I really think that Splat Zone's Mahi is going to be very fun, and it might flip back and forth for a while. How about you?
I do think Loxier is definitely going to be a threat and a problem for Ultraviolence here, but I'm also looking at Ultraviolence's roster, and there's some pretty crazy names on here. Draco from Crossfire for a hot minute, if I recall, and then a bunch of other very strong players like Hime, like Tiger and Mars. Insane players. They made it to winners finals, played against FaZe Clan, did take a map there, so now they're playing against Loxier, and like you said, we are starting off on Mahi Mahi Resort, what has become a comp staple after its rework a while ago.
Yeah, honestly, every time I turn around, I tend to see this map, and even though it's very, very small at the beginning, when those side flanks show up, that's when all of the crazy stuff happens.
Yeah, that's when the map really opens up. It has a lot more ledges for weapons like blasters to play around, so Fox on Loxier could definitely take a lot more advantage when that score reaches below 60, I believe, is when those water levels drop, so definitely something to look out for on this stage especially.
Absolutely. I also, if I'm looking at this properly, it looks like there is a pencil on Ultraviolence's team. I'm not sure if that's going to come out, and also a pencil on Loxier's team, so even though this map is very small, we could see both pencils going at it.
I mean, it is an incredible, and especially on Mahi Mahi Resort, able to take advantage of, you know, such a small map to have a massive threat bubble around it. You know, and so it's more than likely that we'll see it on both sides, especially with the amount it can paint of that zone. And along with Tactical, it's just an incredibly strong option. As we load in here, we'll see if we're proven right in thinking that they're going to be some pens.
I'm hoping to see a roller.
Ooh, I think there is a
there we
roller
go.
one trick. Yeah, he may plays roller, and there's the pens.
Wow, they're going backless, I see here for Ultraviolence. That's exciting.
Wait, oh, that's crazy. Wait, they aren't running. You're right.
They're cooking.
They
I wanna
are.
see what they can do.
Hold on, this rocks. They're kind of using the Neo Splash as like a pseudo backline, I guess. The 52 dives in a little bit early. The strikes come through for Loxier, and Fox and Loxlog Zuzafan are already moving way forwards. They get control of that zone, and now Loxier are just doing serious damage, finding 2 picks after maintaining control of that zone. Now they're just able to sit tight as one drops to a suction bomb from the Neo Splash. The Booyah comes out as an answer to these tri-strikes, but not enough to keep Loxlog safe as Ultraviolence end up taking back control of this zone.
Looks like they are currently 1 for 1 here. Let's see if they can get someone staggering. Oh, looks like the roller and the Tetras and Ultraviolence are down. We're only left with the Splash here.
Yeah, the Splash is going to have to turn tail and run all the way back, especially so close to those triple ink strikes. Going to have them up for this retake, but so does Loxier. These are going to be a vital special. They have been so strong in just the past several weeks, along with that Booyah Bomb, which just got popped up inside of Loxier. There's 2 members down, though, for this retake in favor of Ultraviolence. The strikes and the Reslider come through. The Reslider is finding so much chip. The Tetras getting the pick onto 1, not just 1, but 2 assists. Wow. Massive. And Ultraviolence successfully retake this zone. They don't have a lot of penalty to go through just yet, so they are able to get started on this lead, just close in on it a little bit more, and have 2 specials for the hold here with the bubble and the tri-strikes.
They're still 1 for 1, and even though it might be a little bit slower, they did push through the lead here. With Mars jumping back to mid, that's the safest option here, especially with 2 of the players down. The Gal does grab 1 before they... Oh, 2! Possibly 3. Oh!
big 2, though. That slows down Loxia a lot. They can't really push forwards here. The splashdown does end up flipping that zone fully. And again, not much penalty means the lead can swap really, really quickly. As we see, they're already gone through it. Only about 15 points left. And Fox is looking onto this left side, onto the Tetris, along with the Freak. Finding one pick, looking for the strikes onto the second. The Roller's trying to rush the Neo Splash, does so successfully. However, that comes at the cost of 3 members of Ultra Violence. This Gluga is going hunting, however, not successfully finding that final member of Ultra Violence. Loxia is still going to maintain control of the zone. They're already down past 20 points, and with 2 specials left, Ultra Violence need to go right now. Successful first pick. They have 52 with the Killer Whale up on deck. They're not going to be able to use it. The 52 goes down, but they end up flipping the zone in, in its stead. That's a really big pick. They keep this game going longer. And again, they have this bubble. I'm curious to see how they use it on this hold. Where are they going to pop it?
I think the hardest thing for Ultra Violence right now is having to fight the Pencil and Blaster combination, if not the Glugas, because Pencil's providing enough paint to keep all of their frontliners out. Not only that, but Glugas are taking full advantage of the fact that Pencil is funneling all of the members of Ultra Violence one direction.
Yeah, that pen's really, really good at shutting down a ton of space. The splashdown comes through, neutralizes the zone, but so does the reach slider to answer, and the zone stays in favor of Ultra Violence here. Ultra Violence take this lead, the Tri-Strikes and the Booyah Bomb coming out, as well as another set of Tri-Strikes flipping the zone in favor of Loxia. Not in time to just, take the lead, or just prevent that lead, but enough to give Ultra Violence a bit of a penalty here. Loxia have prolonged this game. They have a minute and a half left just to retake it. However, Lockslot goes down. This Tetra is popping off. This off angle is going to be massive. The Tri-Strikes come through, retaking that zone. It's just, it's 3 members standing tall of Loxia, and they're not quite, looking for picks just yet. They find one. The Tetra is moving forwards fast. So does the 52. The 52 drops. It's just that Roller and Neo Splash, and the strikes, I think they're just holding them for this retake. The Roller goes down trying to retreat as well. This is massive. Loxia have only 20 points left. This is really, really close for them to take this lead. Maybe even a KO here, Lila.
The strikes, but unfortunately it looks like they did not take zone at all. 2 members of Loxia are down. Oh wow, and they managed to flip it back in their favor. Ultra Violence takes over again, knocking down 2 of Loxia. There is a whale here. I believe they're likely going to be saving it until more of Loxia's members dive back in.
Yeah, that Killer Whale can do a lot of chip damage, and you don't even need it as 52 gal able to find that pick onto Lockslot on the Galuga Dualies. The paint from Loxia coming through, not going to flip the zone just yet. The 52 gal popping that Killer Whale 5.1, finding the pick onto the pen. That's almost all of the paint gone on the side of Loxia. The splash is down 2, and Ultra Violence have gone through their penalty. They have fully KO'd our game 1, wow. And they're 1 map off of going forwards to grand finals here.
That was a very phenomenal take back from Ultra Violence, especially with their lack of a backliner. They were able to keep pushing forward and continue to knock out their midliners and backliner enough for them to take back over.
Yeah, they really showed how well a backlist comp can work. Even coolerless backlist, it's really strong, especially if you have a lot of quick respawn weapons. Like the Tetra Dualies, the 52 gal and Roller can sometimes run quick respawn as well, if they so choose. And they kind of, like we touched on a little bit at the beginning, that Neo Splash plays a little bit further back, just giving paint for the rest of the team to fight, and it's almost used as a pseudo backline for the team. It worked out fantastically on Mahi. Just will it work on ship-shaped tower control? Very, very different map for Mahi Mahi.
I think they might shift towards possibly... I'm thinking it's gonna be Pencil here. Even though the backlist comp did work for zones, I'd also like to think that's because the objective doesn't move around. If you have that Pencil looking at you from top left and you're unable to get in at all, it might be a little bit harder for them to push backlist, especially on ship shape.
That is true. Like, backlist can struggle to get back in on this map, and just has a massive threat bubble. Again, it's crazy, but they made it work last time.
They did.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of specials to retake. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see if they can do it again. They have a lot of mobility. Great. Honestly, this is kind of a dive. This is a bit of a dive comp. No, I'm thinking
I
about it.
think
It's
so. Dive without
Roller
cooler, which
Tetra?
is extremely rare.
very, very risky, but it works fantastically if you can pull it off. And we see Ultraviolence, obviously, they're in top 3 for a reason, and they have been pulling it off. It's just a question of how much longer will it work? Will it, carry them all the way to maybe a win at the end of this? Who knows?
Yeah, I can really see Blaster being a problem here. Just because, of course, it's tower control and I'm a Blaster main, so I would always think so. We're about to find out, though, aren't we?
Yeah, Blaster will probably come out again. Fox is very... Is that a Forge Pro?
The Forge, indeed. There goes the Blaster again.
Yeah, Fox is an adept Blaster player. We're probably going to be seeing that the entire set. Just incredible at using that weapon. But Forge Pro... I've been a bit out of the loop. Is Forge Pro, good after its buffs now?
I'd say it's more solid, but it's kind of a niche pick here. I was kind of surprised to see it. Nice jump out
really
from Roller
cool.
there.
Oh yeah, Roller just jumping out just in time. However, Ultraviolence is going to go down a little bit early here. The cooler comes up from Loxia. They're able to keep this pace, move forwards as fast as possible with this splatter shot as well. Shot finds a pick, but also gets picked off on their own. Fox has this big bubbler, not going to be able to use it just on the tower yet as the tri-strikes come through. Actually going to pop it in mid just to hold a little bit more space. Now caught in the middle of 3 in mid. That's going to be pretty dicey for Loxia, and Ultraviolence stand tall and take this tower all the way to that first checkpoint with the lead too.
Yeah, honestly, considering they went down fairly early, they are bouncing back, I believe, thanks to that QR you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that is helping them out a lot. However, for finding Tiger with that pen is going to be big. That's a great opening pick. Fantastic play from the rest of the team. Loxlock just moving forwards, finding 2, looking for a 3rd with that Trizuka. Not quite going to find it just yet. Ultraviolence able to react accordingly to that Trizuka pop, but now Loxia have all the control in the world. They've popped the big bubbler, they've popped the Tacticooler. Everybody is juiced up on the side of Loxia, and now they're able to start doing some damage to this tower push, maybe get through that first checkpoint as well, especially with Fox finding a pick on that bottom right side.
We're down from... Oh, actually, it looks like they're 1 down each now. Multiple players of Loxia jumping in, but getting punished by the Forge Pro here. And they go for that extra kill. Can they push forward again is what we're all wondering.
It looks like they're not going to opt for just playing a little bit slower in the face of that big bubbler. You don't always want to rush it, especially with a Blaster inside. That can lead to a lot of trouble for your team. Just opting to paint out a little bit more. The Reslider comes through, not quite going to find Loxlock. Not quite going to find Fox either. Fox staying safe in that bottom right and stay alive through the Booyah Bomb as well, just maintaining that bottom right with 4 here and preventing Ultraviolence from getting a really big push going. They still have the lead though, so Loxia need to find something in this back half of the map, and I think these strikes are going to be the first thing to come through to try and find something. It looks like they're finding a pick onto the Tetradoids. Fox is popping that big bubbler up on that top left for the rest of the team. The strikes are coming out for the side of Ultraviolence, not quite going to find anything just yet, but the bubbler gets broken. There's 3 down on the side of Ultraviolence. This is big trouble for them. However, Loxia still have to get through this first checkpoint.
Honestly, I'm seeing even when Ultraviolence manages to take tower again, there is a lot of yellow paint on the ground. I'm still hoping that they are able to push forward once again, but it looks like they will be... Loxia manages to get the lead once again. That pencil is really wreaking havoc with keeping tons of paint on the ground. Out comes the bubbler. Unfortunately, looks like the Blaster isn't able to get anybody because there just really is nobody on right side. Everyone's locked in at left side here, but out come the strikes and they don't manage to grab anybody.
No, everyone's still up on the side of Loxia. That is going to change very, very quickly as 4 drops. However, that comes at the cost of 2 members of Ultraviolence. The Roller is also going down here to 2 on the tower of Loxia. They're playing this crossfire excellently, and they're already on the second checkpoint. They have the lead. Reach Slider comes out from behind, but can this Tetra do anything? They're going to force out the jump from Fox and the last member of Loxia. But now they only have a minute to try and take this lead back, and it's a pretty hefty task, a tall order for the side of Ultraviolence. They have about 40 points to make up here. Can they do it?
It looks like they do have strikes set up here, but I'm hoping that they are able to get some other specials on Loxia's side to continue to try to lock out Ultraviolence. Unfortunately, the Roller does go down before they are able to pop Bubble. And it looks like that Reef Slider wasn't able to grab anybody, but they escaped unpunished.
Wow, that's a lot of quick super jump the Tetra is running. I guess great jump out there after knowing they're not going to be able to get anything off of the Reef Slider there just to force a lot of people out of trench, though. It's going to be good. Ultraviolence able to continue their push off of that. The roller popping pick, Bubbler finding a pick as well. That's the shot down. That's the big Zuka gone. However, the Blaster's still wreaking havoc in that bottom right. It's looking like trouble. Four finds another pick onto that roller. It's just the Forge left, and the Forge drops. Loxier have forced a game 3. There are 10 seconds left, but with Azuka up, Ultraviolence doesn't really have any options right here. It's really just Loxier kind of sitting pretty for the last bit, and now we're on to game 3. Another zones game for our decider and losers finals.
Yeah, as we predicted, that pencil was a lot of trouble. On maps like this, it's just when there's a pencil up high, you cannot get in unless you've got a special.
Yeah, it's incredibly tough. Now, we did see a lot of opportunities being used by Ultraviolence, by UV, and they did a great job for the most part. They got all the way to that second checkpoint, but that was kind of where it ended. Fox was able to find a lot of, crucial picks on those defenses, along with 4, just to kind of prevent Ultraviolence from really being allowed to move around the map. They couldn't really just get anything going past that, especially on that last defense.
On good news, we are about to see Haggle Zones, which is a pencil-friendly map, but I believe, similar to Mahi, it might be a better chance for Ultraviolence's backless, coolerless comp to get going again.
There's definitely an opportunity for it. You're not really able to play through mid as effectively just because you'll have the pencil on either the little glass canopy or just behind the zone kind of looking out for things. But those flanks, especially on the opposite side of the pen, can mean a lot for your team, especially if, say, the Tetra Dually is pulling 1 or 2 members over or winning a ton of fights like we've been seeing happen. They've kind of had a pretty good set, especially that game 1.
Absolutely, and this is the deciding factor as to whether or not Loxier or Ultraviolence will be facing off in finals. I honestly think that Hacklefish Zones is probably the most neutral map in the game, and it's a classic, so I'm excited to at least see this one to be the final one.
I'm not. I have beef with this map. I have severe beef with Haggle Zones.
I used to love Haggle Zones, but I really think that Trizuka will have a bigger play on the pencil here, especially since they can't hide anywhere high. Tiebreaker!
Yeah, you can really just take advantage of Pencil's kind of lack of mobility on that canopy. However, we're not going to be seeing Azuka from the side of Ultraviolence here. We're only seeing 1 weapon change from the looks. 2 weapon changes. Tiger's back on that 52, and then the Freak is switching over to Splash-O-Matic from that Neo Splash. Something just for a little bit more holding power than Tri-Strikes. Crab is incredibly good on this map, too. It's kind of obscene what that thing can hold on to for 10 seconds.
Speaking of Crab, looks like there was one already out. The Tetras on Ultraviolence unfortunately go down here, but looks like that roller grabs a pick, and they are hiding inside their bubble. Got 2 there. Let's see if they can flip zones, since there is one on the top right side here, as well as the pencil lurking over, so unfortunately they were unable to. Out goes the bubble from the blaster, but it will be shredded, and unfortunately that blaster also was too.
Yeah, the Blaster getting Venn diagram there in a bit of trouble. Going to allow Ultraviolence to take control of the zone and take a bunch of fights as well. They're already knocking on the door of Loxier's spawn here with a Reef Slider and some Tri-Strikes to maybe allow the Reef Slider to get in here on a retake. The Tactical are coming through. However, the first player to drop it, Fox, gets picked off immediately. However, so does the Tetra Dualies. But Ultraviolence is still in control of the zone. The roller striking underneath the platters, preventing anybody from getting, from getting to drop. And the Bubbler comes out just in time for that Zuka, saving this roller. The roller doing so much damage, finding one, almost a second as well. However, the shot's able to shut it down. Now it's only 2 members of Loxier onto the zone in the face of Tri-Strikes. Tri-Strikes, only one is going to use on the zone, 2 behind. And that's going to allow Loxier to kind of worry less about what's happening in the zone and just paint it, especially with that big Bubbler on the front left side.
They still are both 1 for 1, but unfortunately looks like Loxier has quite a way to go. even though Ultraviolence does have that penalty, they have shown in the past that they are able to flip zone as much as they want, and I believe that this might be their favorite mode.
It is very, very good for them so far. As has proven to be, they've got a massive lead on this one. They've KO'd the first map, and it's looking fantastic. Tiger's already moving way forwards into the spawn, finding one pick onto Lock's Lock. However, going to be dropped immediately by the pencil of 4 here. Fox is going down to this roller. This roller has been a menace on this offense, has been creating a ton of space, stalling a ton for Ultraviolence here, and we're seeing it happen again. Mazuka finds a pick, but the roller's still down here. That's a problem that Loxy have yet to deal with. However, the shot does so successfully. The jump coming in is not safe either, as 2 members are here. However, the Tetra is able to reverse camp the shot, and now is looking for another fight onto maybe this pencil. They've neutralized the zone a little bit, and now Ultraviolence are back in control of it, of the zone. The Tetra's just looking for something. The strike's coming through. Are you able to find a fight? No, not quite. Maybe we're looking for Tiger to get aggressive here, but not in the face of that Trizuka. That Trizuka is going to shut down a lot of the aggression from Ultraviolence. Same thing with this Pencil, neutralizing that zone immediately. 2 members end up trying to fight on the bottom left side of the map, and Ultraviolence finds a pick, looking for a little bit more, not quite getting it, sacrificing 2 of their players. Fox is in the zone right now, wreaking havoc, especially with that blast of the Tri-Strikes coming through. Are they able to prevent Loxay's cap? Yes, they are. Ultraviolence are through their penalty. However, Lockslock with this Trizuka, can you find any picks? No, not quite. The roller goes in, finds one, looking for a second. No, not quite. The blaster able to shut down. However, Ultraviolence maintain control of this zone, and they punch their ticket to face off against FaZe Clan again in Grand Finals.
Roller was a menace, and honestly, I was very excited to see them pop bubble against that Trizuka at the very last second. Their instincts were on point.
Yeah, that's like Roller's spot as well on that map. Like, absolute menace if you let them get into that canopy. It's unreal. And we saw how well Ultraviolence were able to play around it. Excellent play from them on both these zones maps, and even the tower especially, but especially that last zones map. That roller was nuts, to say the least.
Honestly, I can see it, because like I don't think they were afraid to go down. Even though they didn't have cooler, they already knew that they were going to be right back up, and they weren't afraid to flip zone back over and force another penalty. And I think that's how they managed to play zones so well in the first place, and they managed to do it again here. So it was great to see consistency from them.
Yeah, well, as stated before, they are going to move on to that Grand Finals. They have a rematch of their winners final set against FaZe Clan. That's going to be back after a really, really short break, so don't go anywhere yet. Hello everybody, welcome back to Squid Junction 82. We are here for your grand finals. We have FaZe Clan versus Ultraviolence, a rematch of our winner semis, which FaZe Clan took 3-1. And bringing you this is Lila, joined by me, Sigdo Kari. Lila, how are we feeling about the set so far? Or how are we feeling about the set going into this? So far is a little bit ambitious.
Honestly, I'm pretty excited because I see 2 zones maps, and from what we've seen in the past 5 minutes, Ultraviolence rocks on zones maps. I can likely expect a game 4, at least I'll be hopeful for it at the very least. Scorch Rainmaker is staring at me right now. How do you feel about that map?
I like Scorch. I'm of the unpopular opinion.
No way!
I enjoy. Maybe I'm skewed because my weapon pool is like, it sees this map mode as like heaven, but it's I enjoy playing on it. I think it's very underrated. People need to stop hating. Maybe consider tower control on Scorch, before we consider banning out Rainmaker clams on it.
I'll take Rainmaker clams over tower control on that map any day, and I'm a blaster, so that should say something.
Oh, no, I understand people don't like it. I personally enjoy it and find it funny. So
I am excited for Zone's Umami, although that's gonna be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, I think not the first time we've seen this, at least today. It seems like it's been everywhere between LSL, SAC, and now Squid Junction. I mean, we've seen this. This is another comp mainstay in the Zones pool.
I saw it earlier today with a little Squid League, and then I believe it was during SAC that I saw. Was it Tower Control? I saw it somewhere. I've seen a lot of these maps somewhere.
Grands.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think that's where I saw it. But I am very excited to see Tower on Mako possibly. That is gonna be like the little treat on top.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like we hardly see this map in low level, at least where I am, so.
Oh, I swear I never see this like map picked at all. Like TC Mako, so fun to play. It's criminally underrated since teams only go to like Inkblot for tower control and maybe Haggle sometimes if we're feeling generous or whimsical. But
I think I'm biased.
That means we get a 5 gamer as well though if we go to Mako Market.
I was gonna say, I think I'm biased. I much prefer Haggle Tower over Inkblot Tower. Navigating around each stack is gonna be kind of troublesome, but at least on its cousin Mako Mart, you're able to, hang out on the stack, and the stack's a little bit longer, and it's not as steep as it is on Inkblot.
Yeah, and it feels much easier to play around than maybe those larger stacks, which can get a little bit tough if you don't have the tower on that first checkpoint. However, we are going to be starting off on that Umami zones, and we don't quite have stacks on this map, but we do have those little bowls of goldfish or whatever, the little silos for the pencil to sit on. But Ultraviolence don't have a pencil.
They don't have a pencil. At the very least, if they retake Finn, I think it's going to be possible. So. All right, let's see here.
Huh? Oh wait, no, that was FaZe Clan's comp. I was like, there's no way they switched that much.
Oh, we're seeing a knot here, and is that Respawn Punisher and a pencil?
I guess. I mean, going into this, they must have known that Ultraviolence ran no cooler here, so Respawn Punisher has a lot of value as Draco Hater immediately drops 2 Phoenix on this, but FaZe Clan is going to find control. Ultraviolence is going to find control of this zone. The Stamper looking for 1, finding 2 with Tiger as well. Just popping off for FaZe Clan right now. Close to that Zipcaster as well, but looking for that 3rd pick before anything happens. The Roller's behind, getting a 55 with that melee. Not quite going to find anything more off of that though, as Ultraviolence lose control of this zone. FaZe Clan retake it, but are going to have to move out immediately as 3 members end up going down rather quickly.
Absolutely. We do see that Finn coming in handy here for Ultraviolence since they are hiding up there. They managed to take the lead. Although they are able to keep it here, I'm expecting that the Zimmy will be a problem with the bubble very soon.
Yeah, that bubble can do so much, just allow for so much space to be held on this map, especially if you can put it in some high ground. It looks like FaZe Clan are going to be able to use it there. Phoenix dropping to find Tiger on that bottom right is going to be big. The Tetras, though, able to take that one and win it as well. Mars already dropping down on this right-hand side, finding a second one. It's just the Pen left standing, providing a couple of jumps from the looks of it. The Knot's already back up and running. However, they're going to have to fight that Tetra again. This time, getting the run back and winning it. Phoenix is sitting on this top mid. FaZe Clan have control of this zone. It's just Tiger in the spawn right. Tiger finds one, going to get dropped, though, by the Stamper. And the Stamper's already moved way forwards here, just really being that front line for FaZe.
When you mentioned that Respawn Punisher was likely due to the lack of cooler, that makes me think that FaZe Clan either already knew Ultraviolence's plan or they were watching finals, or losers bracket finals here.
I
But
mean, they did
manage-
play. Oh, sorry. They did play
Okay.
in winter finals.
They are 1 down each here. Oh, 2 down each. Oh, looks like that is almost a wipe for Ultraviolence.
Yeah,
There's the
Tetra's
wipe.
just looking for a fight here. Trying, I guess the quick respawn is faster than backing all the way up. It's the roller finds two. It's just the Zimmy and the Stamper left standing in the face of 3 of UV. Can UV get a successful retake here? Tiger on this bottom left-hand side gonna end up dropping to this pencil. However, the rest of UV is gonna find 2 picks inside the big bubbler thanks to those tri-strikes and get control of that zone rather quickly. But FaZe Clan are back up in time with Harshi on that pen to neutralize it, so they're, so UV can't get us started on their penalty just yet. They do so now, and now it's just a waiting game to see who finds that first pick.
Yeah, looks like the team is playing a little bit shy here due to FaZe Clan's pencil, although they are currently down, so we are seeing a little bit more movement from Ultraviolence. They still have the zone and they've worked through their penalty, so it's very possible that they might be able to get lead here.
Not quite. Zone gets neutralized. Phoenix goes down inside of the zone. Harshi's out of a charge too. This roller is doing so much, and now Mars is moving forwards with it. We have a bubbler as well for the hold. This is looking great for UV. Does that bubbler come out just yet? No, UV's going to take that lead first. The roller is sharking in a fantastic corner, moving in now, able to pop that bubbler just in time, holding a lot of space. UV could KO this game 1 here. They are so close to it, and it's only Phoenix inside of the zone. They're only 1 away, but FaZe take control of the zone. They pop a bubbler inside of it too. Can Tiger find anything? Can the roller? No, the roller drops to 3 inside the bubble. FaZe stay alive. They only have 1 point of leeway to work with, but they force the fight. They get the jumps out as well, and FaZe have stayed alive in this first map.
While they managed to stop it, this does mean that they will need to get a full KO. Even with that 67 points down, if Ultraviolence continues to cause FaZe Clan to lose control, as they just did, then they're going to keep forcing more and more penalties onto FaZe Clan, which looks like with Harshi down, that is not going to be possible for them to take back over again.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. The tri-strikes coming through as well, going to force all of FaZe back a little bit. However, Phoenix and the Stamper are making some progress. Mars ends up chipping out this Stamper pretty well, but popping that zip caster, getting a little bit of that armor through these zips, going to heal up, also deal a ton of damage to the Neo Splash in this bottom right, and staying alive thanks to the teammates preventing that zip camp. FaZe are in a position where they could take this to overtime and end up winning it by KO, but it's going to be a very tall task here. Ultraviolence have 4 retake specials. They don't have a cooler to worry about, and that's already a pick from the roller. Can you find more? No, Phoenix trades out Golden Scar here on this Zimmy as well. Tiger is trying to find Harsh, not quite anything happening just yet. Mars pops a reach slider, neutralizing 1 zone, but it's just the Neo Splash left, giving the roller a jump. But can the roller find anything? Maybe a trade, but that's about it. FaZe are in a perfect position. It's just Tiger. Tiger needs 2, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen with the range of the pen and not combined. FaZe somehow, by some way, come back in map 1 to kick off our grand finals. It doesn't get much better than that.
Absolutely. I really think that Ultraviolence had it in the bag, but unfortunately, FaZe Clan's backliner was able to get some folks out, especially with that respawn Punisher. I think they knew the game, and they're trying to force them back into the box of Splatoon 3's meta.
Seems
They
like
all
they
have
are a
things.
little bit.
It's
This
pretty disheartening to see them unfortunately lose at 1 there. It was very, very close, and I believe that they will be able to make it back at some point.
Oh, for sure. We have to remember that Ultraviolence are very, very good. They're in Grands for a reason, and they were on the verge of taking out FaZe on that. Just a little bit of an untimely retake there for UV. But it's going to take more than a retake for FaZe to steal away a second map here if it comes to it on Rainmaker.
Absolutely. I think I might. Oh, I think I might have lied. Looks like Ultraviolence does have a pen player, but they are not
Oh?
playing right now. So I have misled the masses. The backlist comp is due to the weapons that all of the current members of Ultraviolence who are present are playing. So they do have a hill to climb, especially here on Scorch Gorge, because if you have a pencil on the middle island, it's going to be really hard to get in.
That is true. It's incredibly hard to get on this map in general, but especially if you have to deal with a lot of range. Phoenix on that Nautilus as well is going to be a major problem, as we saw. Tiger struggled a little bit in the ones, and in isolation, Nautilus does win pretty consistently against a mobile weapon like Tetra 2. And FaZe have been able to capitalize off that really well. Will Ultraviolence find an answer, do you think, in this game too?
I think that they might. Funny enough, the special that Nautilus was throwing, which was Rain in this case, really was controlling a lot of the zone and causing chip damage. Although most people tend to ignore Rain just because, oh, it's Rain, you know, it's not going to do much to me. It really does force players out of a certain area, and if you stay, you will die. So that will be another area of control special. If not, we might see triple splashdown, which would be very exciting for me personally.
Honestly, triple splashdown could be rocked here. Solid on the retake, maybe dealing with a roller shark or two. Can do a ton of damage to that Rainmaker shield for maybe an insta pop if need be. Definitely not out of the question, but like you said, that Inkstorm is also just fantastic. It's able to get pushes going, it's able to display so well, and that chip damage just cannot be ignored if you are standing inside of the Rain, especially against a high damage, like a high weapon damage comp with that Stamper and Pen core that FaZe are running.
Absolutely. I personally foresee. I honestly think that we might see some pretty great flanks from the Tetras. After watching them on Mahi zones, I'm still crossing my fingers and hoping that they're able to get some picks here. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Look, we're switching to ZF and Zap, maybe a little bit more mobility, and the Vac Cheese being very, very strong in the later stages of this game on Scorch Gorge. We're seeing it on both sides. Tiger switching over from 52 gal as well to that Rapid Pro Deco. Or sorry, Vanilla Rapid Pro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at the very least, we don't see any respawn punishers, so...
Huge! We take those.
That makes me happy, although there is a regular scope, so they might be doing some back cheese here.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see Vac Cheese on both sides. Phoenix ends up dropping to a bomb as our opening pick. However, so does Mars. This Zap ends up dropping, though, and it looks like this Knot is going to have to do it all here, forcing a jump out from that Charger. It's just the Zap left standing against two members tall of UV, and this Rapid finds a clutch direct to save that 2v1. Turning it into almost turning it into a 1v0, and now UV are taking this Rainmaker. It's only Phoenix left to contest this checkpoint, and immediately UV are just going to take that check, saying we're not scared of just a little Nautilus when we have 4 members just staring down its barrels. It's only got 3 barrels, so I mean, math checks out there, but that push is going to be stopped promptly right afterwards.
They do manage to take one down with them, but I will say I'm just very excited to see Vanilla Rapid here. You don't really see this special come out very often. But I believe both of these teams knew that the other team was going to have a back, so they said, you know what, if you're back teasing, so am I.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to have it up for the side of FaZe Clan here. Harshy on that vanilla charger. However, they're going to need to stay alive throughout all of this chip damage from Tiger. Tiger ends up dropping this 2 members down on the side of Ultraviolence, and that's the strikes being popped on this Greats a little bit early, not quite finding the pick on the Phoenix or forcing Phoenix out. Phoenix on a huge off angle going to actually draw 3 members over to that left-hand side. Now FaZe have a really solid foothold to maybe grab this checkpoint. Mars going to drive in, not quite going to find anything just yet. 2 members of UV down. The Zipcaster comes through to maybe force Tiger out. Tiger drops. Harshy does go down to the strikes, but not before taking out that checkpoint. And now with all of the players coolered up and back up and ready, the Zap is going to pick up this Rainmaker, maybe try and look for a couple of more points. They've already taken this lead. However, Tiger is proving to be a problem on this top right, chipping out a lot. This Samper can't really seem to do anything, and now the Rainmaker's going to drop back into the don't retreat. 2 members down on the side of FaZe Clan. It's just the Stamper. Stamper finds 70 on the Tiger, but not much more. And now UV have a chance to take back this lead. They have the map control of mid. The strikes are coming through, finding 2 massive picks, 1 on a jump and 1 more on a sharking player. And that's going to balance out a little bit. This Tetra looking for a 1, not quite finding it. The roller does go down, though. It's going to even things out. And now, with the VAC, UV are in a little bit of trouble.
Looks like there is a second VAC. We are seeing a VAC battle here. Unfortunately, the Stamper does go down, which allows UV to try to take some more space here. I can definitely tell that they are afraid of Harshy, but I can also see that they're doing their best to try to just provide as much paint as possible. And looks like the knot from FaZe Clan goes down. Tiger is trying to make some picks, which of course he grabs one on Harshy, which that is amazing. Although that Zap is coming through with a pretty aggressive forward stance and grabbing Soda.
Big pick, but Mars is here on this bottom right, trying to 1v1 this Zap, provide jumps too. That's the roller finding 1, looking for more, maybe picking up this Rainmaker. No, not quite. You have 2 specialists to work with though for this retake and a minute and a half left. However, that's 1 of your specials going down. The big bubbler gets popped pretty far up, and the roller dies within it. The strike's looking for 1, finding 2, but the Stamper's already inside of this ring, getting a little bit of that passive healing. The Zipcaster gets popped so they don't fall off and die, and now the Stamper's in a lot of trouble here. It's just the Zap left standing. The Knot jumps in, gets a little bit of a charge, saving that Zap, and now FaZe have almost full control of mid.
Anyone's game, although there is a minute left. FaZe is leading by 5 points, but Ultraviolence is managing to get quite a few picks here. And it looks like FaZe Clan's cooler player does go down, although Harshy is still left standing with this VAC, pushing Tiger all the way back to their base.
Yeah, Harshy's VAC here going to clear out a ton of space in that back right as well, force players to deal with any of the members of FaZe Clan just in the waiting arms of them right over there. Now UV are going to pick up this Rainmaker. They have a great opportunity here, going to take that lead just in time, maybe get a little bit more since the bubble is holding so much space, but the bubble goes down. There's a huge push, now 20 points in the lead in favor of UV. What an end of play push here. Now FaZe are on the back foot. They have to move fast, and they're close to 3 specials to maybe get something to happen here. But it's a huge uphill battle, especially as your Stamper drops. That's 1 of your specials down for another 5 or so seconds.
Yeah, that was, honestly, I was quite surprised to see all 4 members of FaZe Clan up and then to see Harshy jumping out as 3 went down. So that was a pseudo wipe that we just watched. That was very exciting.
Yeah, let's see. It's just a little bit of spam of UV, just trying to stall out, maybe get a couple more specials. Tiger with this VAC, gonna need to back off though as this Zap is getting super aggressive. The Ink Vac, there are 3 specials up on the side of UV, but they're not gonna need any of them as they even up the set in game 2 and win on Rainmaker here in Grants.
That confirms game 4 for us.
It
Oh wait,
does.
no. Oh yeah, it does. I can't math today. I'm very excited.
We have another zones game in a couple, but before that, we're moving on to Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy.
I am really shocked by Tiger's switch to Rapid Pro Vanilla. I did not see that coming anywhere, especially with the way that they were able to lock in and just confirm kill after kill. Rapid is probably one of the weapons that I have the hardest time fighting, and seeing it fight here in such a top level tournament, it makes me very excited for the weapon itself.
Yeah, it is fantastic at just spacing players out, just not allowing them to kind of move in. And even if you get in, which you can definitely do, and it causes a lot of problems for Rapid Pro, the Rapid can still like hit or direct and then like hit the floor around you for a little bit of a spark for just the extra damage to finish you off. We saw UV were great at playing around that, especially, and that really helped them even out the set count and get a ton of crucial picks to get that offense going.
I really think that that weapon was the answer that they needed because I could really see Ultraviolence struggling against the midliners that FaZe Clan had. There was a lot of struggle against that Stamper, but that Stamper was going after the Rapid for almost the whole set, and they weren't able really to get too many picks on them.
No, not at all. Stamper was a problem. The Stamper had a fantastic game. There's just a little bit of unfortunate timing with that Zipcaster at the very end. If they popped it earlier, though, then we could be looking at a 2-0 FaZe lead.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see whether or not they stick with Rapid Pro, especially since it's amazing on tower control. So I'm very excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, the question is, are they going to be using Rapid Pro? It's a blaster. It's very, very strong on both Inkblot Art Academy and Tower Control. You put those two together, and it's a great pick, but Tiger's proven to be a very, very flexible player. Forge Pro, Rapid Pro, and, of course, the ever-present 52 gal. Do we know what Tiger's going to pick next? I'm very curious to see.
Well, we're about to find out here. Let's see. I am confused.
Rapid Deco.
Rapid Deco, and we see a head it from Hershey here, which is a little bit different than the pencil they've been playing lately.
Yeah, a little bit more mobile, a little bit less on the paint output, but able to fight a lot more, as the 52 gal in the bottom left here for FaZe is already just making contact with the entire team, just allowing FaZe to get control of the rest of the map, and now moving into the right, going to actually drop to that roller, and the roller's already moving forwards on this right-hand side. Again, no cooler from UV. They've really stuck to their guns here, and it's working out wonderfully so far, finding 2 opening picks, and this Killer Whale is going to displace that head and not quite able to help out the Blaster in the 1v1 against the roller player here. And now UV's in a pretty solid spot if they can deal with this Crab Tank, and it looks like they're going to be able to. The roller, never mind, dropping to the 3 numbers on FaZe Clan. And we've been at a stalemate here for the whole first minute of this game.
The thing that I'm definitely noticing here is that it appears that Rapid Pro is causing a lot of trouble for Hershey, unlike when they are on Pencil. Rapid Pro is probably the biggest reason as to why Hershey hasn't been moving forward into mid as much. Looks like Mars manages to grab 2 here, and the roller grabs another one. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's a big boost for UV's offense. They've already gotten to that first checkpoint. They've yet to break it, though. And now they're able to hold a lot of control of mid. This roller's in a fantastic striking spot, however, found out by multiple members of FaZe. UV is going to have to capitalize around that wonderfully. The dart hit onto Hershey on that head it. Tiger is just an absolute force here on this top left. However, they're going to have to move out pretty quickly as this 52 is already trying to rush them down, forcing a jump out. Now picking up this cooler. UV is now on the back foot with a man down, and FaZe are just running forward already. This 52 gal popping the Killer Whale, finding a pick on the Tiger. That's your backline gone, and a lot of your AoE damage. The 50 is doing so much work, and now there's a duel in the in the back of the map, going in favor of FaZe here, and UV are on a pretty tough back foot.
Unfortunately, it does look like Ultraviolence did lose that lead here, but they might be able to take things back if they're able to lock down their bats. We have a Blaster on bats, which is never a good idea for the team that's dealing with it, although they do take that Blaster out very quickly.
Yeah, that was a great retake by UV here. Able to go 2 for 2 and force out a lot of FaZe Clan's players. Now they're in a fantastic spot to maybe just catch their breath a little bit, maybe formulate a plan with these specialists that they have and try and get closing on this lead with the last 2 minutes. Already popping 2 of those specials, the Whale and the Reef Slider. The strikes are coming through as well, moving this tower forwards. However, Mars is down on that Tetra. That's going to be a lot of the fighting prowess of UV gone. But there's still this roller to deal with. The roller looking for one, popping that bubble, not quite going to find anything just yet. Just a lot of chip damage onto one of the players of FaZe here. It's not going to amount to much though, as the bubble actually works in favor of FaZe here with the bomb explosion on the tower. And then another jump in getting camped, and Tiger's just left all alone. FaZe just appearing dominant on this third map.
Watching that Tetra take out 3 really caught me off guard. Phoenix has some very good skills, and they do also have a crab ready, which looks like they are popping up in bats. They managed to grab 1, although 3 members of FaZe Clan are down. Looks like they are even, although FaZe is staggering quite a bit here.
Yeah, FaZe is staggered. They're trying to jump back in, maybe regain a little bit of that offense, but they're not going to be successful in doing so just yet. They have a killer whale to work on for this retake, as UV is in control of this tower and already moving forwards with strikes and a whale. But how are they going to choose to use it? They're not even going to use the killer whale to find that opening pick. They're actually just going to rely on the 52 gals fighting prowess, and it's going to work out successfully for them. Now fighting with the killer whale in the face of the Reslider. Mars looking for anything, just something, getting a little bit of chip damage on the 52. Not okay, finding anything. FaZe Clan, it is all looking up for them, as with another successful defense on this first checkpoint, mind you, they have been looking fantastic on map 3.
Absolutely, and it is nice to see the back and forth here, although looks like FaZe Clan is doing their best to waste as much time as possible. There is less than 30 seconds left on the match here. Looks like Phoenix manages to get picked, so Harshi is backing up, trying to take as much space as possible, providing jumps back in for Phoenix, but although it looks like there is 1 down for each team at this point.
Yeah, this roller's a bit isolated though, fighting 2. There's a 3rd member in this bottom right. UV is just being drawn out of the way of the tower. It's going to allow FaZe to contest it directly with multiple members. The blaster coming through on the flank is going to mean FaZe end the game early. At the very start of OT, no push allowed for UV here, and FaZe put themselves on tournament point.
Yeah, although I was a little bit surprised to see Harshi on Headit, it did manage to play out fairly well, as they were able to stay up on stacks and control a lot of paint in mid.
Yeah, they played that fantastically. A lot of their, plays have just worked out on the map. The 52 switch, I was also raising my eyebrows a little bit at that, but it worked out really well for FaZe here, and that puts them in a great spot here, moving on to Robo Ramen Zones.
Robo Ramen Zones. Our favorite zones map that you have to take zone before you can push forward.
Yep. This is... this is that map. This is the map of all time.
This is the map of all time. I am expecting Pencil here, and I am expecting Pencil to hide all the way up on glass the whole time in control zone. So I'm hoping to see some picks, likely from Tetra, pushing, bottom left, trying to take away some attention and hopefully pull some members down with them as they respawn.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. This Tetra could be putting in a lot of work. We're going to see the switch back to the Zipcaster and the Splatoon Stamper for FaZe over here, as well as switching back to the Neo Splash for FaZe too. They're switching both their weapons back to a much more standard comp that we are familiar with. As the Stamper goes down, Mars on this Tetra is already proving to be incredibly useful, drawing 2 members of FaZe down to this bottom right. Going to get a trade. However, it is 1 for 2, so FaZe are able to move forwards here. Harshi already in the front of the zone, being the team's front line for now with that excessive range that Pencil has. In the face of strikes too, FaZe are able to maintain control of this zone and already down past, they've already gotten 30 points on the board.
Although we are seeing a very similar comp from FaZe Clan, I will commend them for not using Respawn Punisher here. I believe they likely switched over because Ultraviolence does have that pseudo backliner that they've been running with the past few matches.
Yeah, it's not going to be as effective if you have a backline However, it's still working out just fine for them so far, getting down to 50 points. And UV have fully retaken the zone now with a couple of specials on deck. That Killer Whale going to be popped immediately, and we're close to those triple ink strikes as well. Immediately popping them just to maintain control of the zone and allow Mars to get away scot-free from a bit of a dicey scenario, as well as the roller. Just playing a little bit, just trying to cover Mars' escape here. They're going to do so successfully, but at the cost of their own life. The Zipcaster coming through from the Stamper as well, looking for any kind of fix, any kind of damage. Not quite going to find it just yet. Just be a pain in the butt for UV to deal with, and FaZe recap control of the zone and maintain it for quite a while now, just because of that zip and range.
And it looks like they are 1-for-1 right now. I am very excited to see Ultraviolence back in their prime. They are doing their best to force as much penalty as possible. Looks like they do have 2 specials up, which I'm expecting to be in combination very shortly when Ultraviolence gets a pick. And out goes the Reef Slider. Unfortunately, it is punished.
Reef getting punished. There's no picks off of it. Just a little bit of chip damage. Now UV is 2 players down. FaZe have control of the zone still. The Sprinkler up top is painting it so much, and they are 10 points away from knocking out UV here. Make that 5. However, UV gets onto the zone. Are they able to fully flip it in time? No, not from the looks of it. It's just Mocha Fan left as FaZe Clan clean up the rest of the team, and it's all FaZe up here at Squid Junction as they take the grand finals in another 3-1 set.
Congrats to both teams for playing as hard as they did. Honestly, I am still very proud of what Ultraviolence was able to accomplish without having a genuine cooler backlighter. It's very refreshing to see teams try something new, even if it is due just to their pools. And FaZe Clan, of course, locked down with Pencil as per usual.
Yeah, that pen was super strong here, especially just able to just maintain complete control of the zone. The Sprinkler up top as well, just helping it out. That really led FaZe to to the win here. Fantastic work from them. Congrats, but also UV had a good run too. 3-0 in the losers bracket, and they made it all the way to Grands, taking a game off of FaZe both times in winners, finals, and Grands. But yeah, FaZe had a fantastic showing here.
Absolutely. So I'm sure the people are wondering where they can find you.
Lovely people in chat can find me at Sigdakari at Blue Sky, Discord, Twitter, whatever the Splatoon community uses. I'm probably there at Sigdakari, as you see at the bottom of the screen. Lila, where can the people in chat find you?
I'm also in the same place. Blue Sky is now my home.
It is a fantastic site. I will say I have thoroughly enjoyed using it in the past couple of months I've been on it. It's really fun.
Absolutely. I will say that it is a lot easier to communicate with a lot of the comp folks, and the hashtags have made things a million times easier once again to be able to find teams, tournaments, etc. So it's been great. It's been an amazing switch for me. So if y'all haven't made the switch to Blue Sky, I recommend doing so.
It is pretty fun, but that is going to be wrapping things up at DAP Productions here with Squid Junction. But before we go, there's there are 2 more things we would like to shout out here. First off, thank you to the TOs and thank you to Sama for streaming this for us. She's a fantastic streamer and strong work, and thanks to the TOs. But our second thing is the Big Dapple Ko-Fi. Just really quickly, you can type Ko-Fi, !Ko-Fi in the Twitch chat, or scan the QR code on your screen right now. This helps just keep the lights on, allows Dapple to run a lot of the big tourneys they do so often, and it's just a great way to show your support to one of the big long-standing tourney organizers and productions of the Splatoon community. However, that being
fantastic
said,
artwork.
oh, it's lovely. I don't know who did it, but props to that. That is a lovely artwork. I
would like to know who did that.
Yeah, huge shout out. But
Absolutely.
with all of that being said, this has been Lila and Sigdakari, and from us and everybody here at Dapple Productions, bid you all a wonderful night. Have a great weekend, and I believe the next Dapple tourney is Paddling Pool, so see y'all there.
Thanks, everyone.